You are, Chad.
I mean, you can't even tell who I am. My titties are covering the number.
Oh, this playback's
I know what I am.
great.
Sequel, the podcast. Join us on this ride. Fun discussions every week with insights far and wide. We'll learn along as we break it all down. Marissa, Looney, Joseph, and Ryan, the best hosts in town.
Do you guys want to do?
You know this shit doesn't fit.
Do you guys want to do like a warm up? The High School Musical warm up. That's gonna be really loud. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What team?
Wildcats.
Good
Get
job.
your
I'm
head in
so
the game.
Proud of you guys.
It's time to celebrate. That's a different song.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Podcast the Sequel, where we discuss the good, the bad, and the continued. I'm Marissa.
I'm Manira.
I'm Joseph.
And I'm Ryan.
And with the continuation of March Madness, today we're going to be discussing another basketball sequel. We're going to be discussing High School Musical 2, which I'm very, very excited about. I know, I'm sorry. It's sure Ryan's already shaking his head at me, but I don't even know where to begin with High School Musical.
We got to start with High School Musical.
Oh,
The first
okay,
one.
yeah. Before we get into High School Musical 2, we do have to discuss. I think we should have a full discussion about High School Musical, honestly, as like a franchise, as well as like the original High School Musical as well, which is a Disney Channel original movie. I want to believe that it is the most successful Disney Channel original movie of all time.
I think when it first came out, yes. I don't know about right now.
Right in this moment,
Because like
Give me like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Descendants is probably pretty high.
Yeah.
Halloween Town, definitely not as high.
I think it definitely put like, especially like Disney Channel original movie musicals back on the map for sure. Like this is back in like what, 2007?
2007 was the sequel, so
2006.
High School Musical 2 is the most successful DCOM movie.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it was extremely marketable. It happened to hit, I think, right at a like time where like musicals were like thing. Obviously Disney is huge. I also feel like on a personal note, like I feel for me, well, especially for me, I was in high school when High School Musical came out. So 2006, I was like right in the middle of high school. So I mean, like this would have been the perfect time for what? Why are you laughing?
Because I was at a different point.
I was in
me
6th
too,
grade.
dude. Oh, that was in junior.
It was in 6th grade. when
Well,
it
this
came out.
this one also like
Get the fuck shit.
I
was like a senior. That's why I was like, oh god.
You really? Oh yeah, because you're 2007, huh? Yeah. Nice. I was
or
2008.
whatever I am.
Well, so this one actually affects me more personally because I was in high school, I was in theater, choir, whatever you want to call it, and then I was also a wildcat at my school.
What was your school mascots? Since you mentioned you were a Wildcat.
I will never say.
Yeah. You could trace that bad boy back.
yeah, you can go back.
I mean,
There's record
wildcats
of
are kind
ours.
of everywhere. Yeah, I was like wildcats there's like bobcats, wildcats, cougars, all of the things. So
Yeah. What was your mascot?
Scorpion.
that seems fitting.
No, that kind of that makes
a
sense.
lot of
That
sense.
seems fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that seems fitting
No,
somehow.
that's funny.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a scorpion.
Yeah. It would have been worse if it was like a snake or something.
A camel.
No, that would have been.
Oh,
that
okay.
would've been-
All right.
Two on the nose.
Honestly, I would have to
Middle
buy.
East.
I would have to buy merch if it was. That's.
I think
too-
I still have my high school senior jacket.
I think I had mine too. My
Mine's in the
sweatshirt.
closet.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been so good if it still fit.
I think mine
Just a
still
little
does.
like wildcat. I mean, like I have this.
Well,
but
yeah.
I feel like this is more fitting for this, but like, how great would that be? Anyway, just, since we're talking about the overall like franchise itself, I personally feel like this just hit a lot of people in like the right time because one, Disney's huge; it's reaching a lot of people. I don't know if this is part of like Joseph's numbers, but I know like the original movie had like 7.7 million viewers in the first run, which is huge. And just with high schoolers, like I feel like High School Musical itself tells a lot of like what I feel a lot of people are going through with like self-identity and also just trying to figure out what they're going to do for their future. And a lot of those feelings that we really have, if you're into sports, if you're into theater, if you're into like all of these different sub like categories, clubs or whatever in high school, you kind of almost feel that way. So I just feel like this was a good a decent representation of like your stereotypical high school and like certain troubles that you deal with. And I feel like that progresses on through the franchise itself up until they get to their senior year and they're making these huge decisions that I feel like are somewhat ridiculous for kids to be having to make decisions on, but that's a different discussion.
I mean, one's a pretty easy decision. I'll say that. Well, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, yeah, we're only going to be talking about High School Musical and High School Musical 2. Eventually, we'll talk about 3, but yeah, just wanted to open up that box of how big. I mean, obviously, there's merchandise for it. They had a spinoff series, High School Musical, the series, which I don't know if you guys
Never watched
partook
a single
in.
episode.
She made me
did.
watch it.
I did. I finished it. Well, I was I mean, we kind of mentioned it before we started the podcast. Like I loved High School Musical. Like it fit right in where I was in life. I know me and my friends were obsessed with it. We saw the third one, which was the only one that had a box office release in theaters a certain amount of times that I won't say, but it was 8 times and it was great.
That's wild.
Not nerdy at
Yeah.
all.
I gotta say this one missed me for sure, because just like age wise, I wasn't. I like theater and stuff and acting and doing things, but this one didn't really call out to me like as something. Oh, I gotta watch that. That's cool.
I feel like this was just around to like that same time where you're getting like Glee, like that whole like that was like Glee was huge. It brought back a lot of like songs. It brought back musical theater. It brought back like the whole like Glee club, choir, yada yada yada. So I feel like around this time we're getting a lot of musicals. We're getting like your Hairspray. You're getting Into the Woods. I think Mamma Mia was technically before this. I feel like Mamma Mia was like 2004.
I want to say yeah.
I feel like it's like 2004-ish.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're getting all those. You're getting Sweeney Todd. You're getting all that all that musical stuff. So I feel like
Came out after it.
Oh, it did.
Really?
2008.
Ooh.
So right after the second movie.
That puts more fuel into my fire. That High School Musical revamped musical genre.
I think it did in its own way, but I also feel like High School Musical came at the perfect time for like DCOM original movies, where it wasn't necessarily the greatest in the early 2000s, where it had its moment in the mid to late 90s, kind of not that great early mid 2000s, and then you had High School Musical come out, and then the plethora of like DCOM movies just came out in the
especially musicals too, and that factor.
And then it just took over. I think like the mid to late 2000s were just DCOM original musical, and I think because of the success of High School Musical and it's High School Musical 2, it kind of just launched this whole new, I wouldn't say like genre of like Disney, but like the renaissance of like DCOM movies.
I would especially too classify more like DCOM, but like musicals specifically, because like we were talking about like Descendants, Camp Rock, Zombies, Teen Beach Movie. We have obviously High School Musical, but before this even was like Cheetah Girls technically. Like, so I mean, one could say that Cheetah Girls started off, but I don't know if I really.
But it's been a couple of years between Cheetah Girls and High School Musical. But I also think like this helped also not necessarily just like DCOM movies, but also like TV shows. You have Hannah Montana came out around the same time as this, and it's obviously a musical TV show. You have like Wizards of Waverly Place and Demi Lovato's show, who I do not know.
Sunny with a Chance?
Yeah, came out a couple of years later, but I feel like you have like all of these. They started hiring like all these actors who can sing and perform and everything. I feel like it just created this new wave at Disney Channel.
Which is funny because I feel like with like Zac Efron and then like Vanessa Ann Hudgens is how she goes by in the original High School Musical. I feel like these were not really well-known names. Like I want to say Zac Efron, the biggest thing he did before this was Summerland.
I used to love.
I mean, I love Summerland.
I love Summerland.
You guys don't know Summerland.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about right now.
I know we're kind of on our own little level right now.
I'm like, I can tell you about Iron
Neighbors.
I mentioned it in the last episode we did that my biggest celebrity crush around the mid to early 2000s was Jesse McCartney, and all started because of Summerland.
I
was
love
obsessed.
Summerland. I wasn't obsessed with Jesse McCartney, but I like
Summerland.
Summerland. It was like We Live by the Beach show.
2 seasons.
It's very like
This was Disney Channel.
no. This was
I think
W-
Warner
ABC,
Brothers,
WB? Yeah,
whatever
WB?
CW was a long
One-
time
that was
ago.
WB.
Yeah, it used to be-
KTLA. Just
WB.
wasn't it that? Oh yeah, WB.
Yeah,
Yeah,
WB.
She probably knows better than I do.
Yeah, when they still had Michigan J Frog running around.
Now the WB.
Yep.
So let's get into. We can get. I feel like we have enough basis now. We're kind of getting into high school.
You haven't
Musical.
heard of High School Musical yet.
If you have,
You're
okay.
living under a rock.
I feel like if you like, maybe you haven't seen it because it's not your thing, which I totally, and I respect that too. Like, I totally understand if it's not your guys' thing. I feel like this is not like a, hey, we're gonna have, you know what the guys are gonna love this year for Christmas? They're Troy and Dan, like Barbie doll. Guys aren't gonna be into that. If this hit you, great. If it didn't, cool. Like whatever. Everybody has their thing. Like I think even like Joseph has mentioned before that he prefers other musicals to this one, which
Yes.
is fine. I know you just you're not a fan of musicals at all.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that it has to be a very specific.
I feel like we haven't found the right musical.
Yeah.
For you.
I just wonder what yours would be.
I don't know.
Like you have like Sweeney Todd.
It was all right.
Like that's the only one that I'm like,
Yeah, I've seen
that's
it.
kind of cool. I know
Phantom
you
of the
hate Les
Opera.
Mis.
I've seen it.
I feel like you would
Les
enjoy.
Mis, I'm not. That's not for me.
No.
Well, that because
Yeah, I
that's
agree with
just
you.
like
Yeah,
yeah.
The
That
talk
movie is
singing.
just-
I'm just like.
I feel like you would enjoy more musicals watching it live.
Cats.
Miss me with cats.
I think Cats missed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even people that like cats hate cats.
I've never
That-
seen it and I already hate it.
Have you see the Taylor Swift one?
Hell no.
Oh, it's rough. I turned it off like halfway.
That shit was
And I love
real
musicals.
rough.
Yeah,
Like,
and
even I couldn't
love
get behind
I love
it.
musicals,
You want to see
but
James Corden as a John?
Oh, that was the best part.
I've
Are we
never
allowed to say
watched.
the P word?
He's a pussycat.
He was. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say it in that context.
Oh, okay.
He was a puss.
Anyway.
You could say he even was a pussy.
Fat one for that.
Cat.
I'm just kidding. Cut that
See?
out.
Now you don't have to bleep it.
So I don't know if we really have numbers for this because it was. a
No,
Disney
all I
Channel
have is
original
just
movie.
box office. Not box office.
There's
The
no
budget.
box office.
Yeah, I was
First
gonna
one was
say.
$4 million budget.
That's a pretty simple
nothing.
budget.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Considering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
There's
heard
no.
less
There,
of a
yeah.
budget, but-
Unfortunately, there's no cinema score for this.
Yeah.
No
Damn.
Yeah. There's.
Rough.
That's just the
I mean, it went
budget.
straight,
That's about
straight to
it.
TV.
Yeah, I mean, yes, yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, I would have been interested to see what like the cinema score would have been
Yeah.
for something like this, but
3 probably has one, but
3 does
does,
because that one
yeah.
came
Three,
out
yeah,
to
three,
TV.
Yeah, that one had
absolutely has.
theatrical.
Just
but
'cause it
yeah.
has
well,
The
that
first
one will
two
have
don't
yeah, that one will have like box office. That'll have whatever.
well,
it is.
let's do it. Let's dive into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one.
Um,
I have many questions.
Oh, there's so many like I have some questions. I have a lot of quotes from this movie that I remember. So this movie is directed and choreographed by Kenny Ortega, which is he's done like a bunch of nonsense for like Disney and for other.
I think he
stuff.
still does a bunch of nonsense.
He no,
but
yeah, he did
He's still-
Descendants.
yeah.
But he's done outside of Disney. He did. I'm going to start off with Xanadu, just because I thought that was funny. Dirty Dancing, Ferris Bueller, and Pretty in Pink. He has done work for. I wrote this down. This might be a controversial statement, but I consider for myself that Kenny Ortega is pretty much the Dan Schneider, but for Disney.
I would agree with you.
However,
Context. Context.
not
Yes.
in the like kid way. In the that he creates so much like Dan Schneider had like Schneider's Bakery, so he created things like the Amanda Show, all that, and
Yeah, he's
all
a
of these
big-
other
a
shows.
big part
he's
of
a big like
cultivating.
director. Like he's just a big piece inside of Disney.
'Cause
Not
he did.
anything to do with his personal
Yes.
Personal
stuff that he's got going
Yes.
on. No feet things.
Yeah, because he directed and choreographed High School Musical.
Yes.
But he also
All
did
three?
Hocus Pocus, right?
He also did
Yes.
Hocus Pocus. Yeah, he's
He
done.
did
I mean, he's
Descendants.
done. Yeah, he's a bit like a lot of these movies that you're seeing for Disney. Like, you wouldn't even put it like half past. Like 40% of them are probably like he's involved somehow. So that's what I mean by that.
He's good choreography, kind of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, his choreography. You can very much see like where he has a background in musical theater. You can very much see like a lot of like the movements and like some of them are a little repetitious. But I'll take it, and I think we'll get more into choreography as we go into the second one.
That shit works. It works, right?
I think it's just very like that's why I like High School Musical, because it's shot very much like a stage musical, and I think that's just really fun.
They have their whole chorus line thing that they do, and
there's a lot of like good references to like like even in the second one there's a lot of references to like a Bob Fosse kind of thing, which if you know dance, but whatever, I'm not gonna get too much in it, but I have like so many notes, so before I like
just drive the train
going. Yeah,
I'll
like,
jump in when I have mine. That's
like, I don't want to just go.
Yeah.
Mooney, I was gonna say, I feel like you and I would be like the main two like captains of the ship, because we're more like DCOM. We have we've bonded on Disney Channel original movies. We both like musicals. High School Musical, I feel like we both enjoy.
I love High School Musical, and I fought Joseph tooth and nail over us watching High School Musical and High School Musical 2. I'm so sorry, Joseph, but I made him watch the musical, the sing-along version, and
he sang along.
He did not. I performed basically every song for him while we were watching it.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I knew you would be. I was like, don't watch it. Just watch me perform the exact same.
Did you do the movements and everything?
Yeah.
Lock in. Look at me.
No, I
Look
locked
at
it.
me.
Don't look at her. Look at me.
Screw Sharpay. Look at me.
I don't know who to look at. I'm like, am I watching the movie or am I watching you perform
I
it?
just see you like standing in front of the TV facing him, like
Yeah.
doing it with like,
Oh
no,
my
see,
God.
because like this and like
Like the memes of like that guy who's dancing next to the TV
Yeah.
doing
It was
it.
essentially that. Our Chinese order had just came through. I'm picking up the food, and I turned back to go to like put it down. She's just dancing to it in front of the TV, and I'm like, I can't see anything. She's like, it's fine. I'm doing it for you.
I
I'm
even
just
grabbed
like,
the
what the hell is
basketball.
going on?
see that's me. I'm doing that.
I
She
grabbed
was
our
bopping to the
basketball.
top.
Yeah.
I grabbed our basketball and I was like, you got to get your head in the game, Joseph. Just watch me do this.
So funny.
High School Musical holds a special place in my heart. I love High School Musical. Watching it in my 30s, it definitely made me question a lot of things. And made me like ask Joseph, was your high school experience like this? Because mine sure as hell was not. I don't know if anyone's high school experience was like this. Mine wasn't.
Do you want
But
the
if
answer?
Yes, answer.
No. But I will say this. My dad asked me once when we were going to a dance. He's like, so like, do you and your friends like meet up
I remember this.
and like, you all do like a dance?
A choreograph.
And then like the other crew will like come in. I was like, what? He's like, like when you're at a dance and you just like, you got to show them like who's the,
Guys
and
are
I was like,
battling or
what?
whatever.
Like
Yeah.
a dance battle?
Yeah, like a dance battle. And I was like, no. It's like we all go and we
That's
have a
so
good
funny.
time. And he was like, oh, I just thought because I don't know.
Because I saw it in a movie.
Yeah, because that's every movie though. Like it's like my crew, like
See, and I feel really silly because, and maybe I'm just like, I go back all the time because I always tell people all the time that I'm like, I really enjoyed high school. Like I
hated high school.
I had a great time, and I feel really bad saying that because like maybe I just blocked out certain things. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But like I had a great time. I would totally go back and do it. I don't know now because kids are weird now. But like my high school experience was honestly kind of like this.
I hated high
well, you were very involved in like.
Well, yeah, like I was involved
the
in
showmanship
like, yeah,
of high
I was
school.
in like all of the, like I did everything from like your mathletes. I was in sports. I was in what is it? ASB.
ASB?
Yeah, I was in ASB. I was in drama. I was in theater. I was in like, I kind of dabbled a little bit in everything. And then also like, I didn't have anybody that I like hated, shunned on. Like I knew the popular kids and I knew the not popular kids. Like I tried to be friends with everybody. I don't know if everybody felt that way about me.
To be
but
fair, I can say without a doubt, yeah. Like I was involved in nothing,
Same.
but I knew everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like talked to everybody. Like had friends in like sports, had friends in like drama,
Yeah.
whatever, math, whatever.
Mm.
But I did know that like there's people that didn't like me. Just
I mean,
for
I'm sure there
something that I
was. They
did.
just, I never knew, like, I couldn't tell you, I couldn't list people that I
Yeah.
was just like, this person hated me. Like, bullying, like, I was never bullied. I did
No.
not bully in high
No.
school, or at least if I did, I'm not aware of it.
Yeah,
and if I
no.
did, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, like, I
unintentional
had a
for
great-
sure, but
yeah, I had a great time. The only thing I would go back just to redo is maybe like do better on like grades and stuff. But,
yeah, I didn't
like
give a
tests
shit.
and shit. But because I had like all AP classes and I was like doing it, but whatever, doesn't matter.
I hated high school.
Yeah, I would never go back.
I would
for sure.
never.
As
Oh.
an, like it's
I
so
would
much
go-
better being
Yeah.
an
I would go
adult.
back to maybe
Oh, yeah.
college,
Jesus.
but I would never go back to high school.
Yeah.
Never go back to high school.
Oh, I liked it.
I hated
Probably
high
not
school.
now because these kids are a little rough with their
It's the same thing.
You
It's
miss
just
the
a little
fights?
different.
the things that they say and miss the fights.
It was like the
I
best
just-
part.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing.
That was like the
I love
the
high school
pay-per-view.
drama
that
though.
was the
I love
Yeah,
all
it
the
was-
drama from high school.
especially because it's like knowing what you know now. You're like, oh, that's nothing, bro.
Nothing,
Yeah,
nothing
you
compared
guys.
to life.
that's just
That's so much
it's
more
not
coming
even
your
a
way.
tip. Yeah, dude, that's just
I also just like I find it interesting. So I just recently like watched all of like the 13 Reasons Why, and which also is like a high school show.
Also, never happened in anyone's
Oh,
high school.
none of that.
Probably
Well,
ever.
I don't want to say that type of
Oh,
stuff never
that's true, 'cause,
happened
it could
like I
happen.
don't know. Yeah, I
Not
was like
to that. Maybe.
I
Never
mean-
mind. Never mind.
I don't. You never know. You
Yeah.
never know. We don't know. I don't know.
nowadays.
I hope that
I wouldn't
nothing.
put it past.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I was like, I
Nowadays,
hope
yeah.
that nothing like that ever happened. At least my time there, or
Yeah.
future, or past, whatever. But
I definitely knew some
just-
weird shit that
What
happened,
a
but-
difference! in, like it's like
Different,
the
yeah,
the
era of
vibes.
just-
High school was
yeah.
a dark time on that show.
Oh, they do. That was so rough. But anyway,
But we are talking about.
But
we're
back to
talking,
High School
we're talking
Musical.
about High School Musical.
Back to High School Musical. It holds
Such
such
a
a special place in my heart.
peak of,
Like whenever they were promoting High School Musical and everything, I was that weirdo obsessive fan that would go to Disneyland whenever they had their parades around like California Adventure or Disneyland. I was there and I went to every single performance show, whatever it was, at Disneyland, watching them basically reenact the entire movie there.
I was gonna be like, Joseph, did you go with her? But I forgot you were like 6, so never mind.
Jesus.
I was crazy. I was crazily obsessed with High School Musical. It does not.
Because I'm like expecting, like it was like last week. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna go see the parade, and
wouldn't.
she's
No.
doing this stuff.
He's
I
very
didn't
happy
know
we don't have a
about-
Disney Pass
I
anymore.
didn't know about High School Musical till my junior year of high school.
Yeah, tell us about your experience of how you avoided it for the longest time as possible.
I
You
just
avoided it, like
No, I
you saw,
didn't
like-
avoid it. It just wasn't
I-
part of my group until I met somebody, and that was part of their group. And then, you know, because I'm like, oh, I want to be with this person. Let me just be like, oh, let me.
100%.
Yeah,
Like it's.
let me,
I,
yeah.
that's the other thing is like, who is this marketed to?
Yes.
Boys
Women.
or girls?
Girls.
everybody.
I think what they did.
They got me with the basketball aspect.
Smart-
That's how they
smart
sucked
way.
me in. Where they're just like,
I think they're smart
yeah.
marketing.
Troy
is they
could go all
have.
state though.
I associated their marketing with the same way that like I've never seen the show, but like the only thing I know from like One Tree Hill, you have Chad Michael Murray plays basketball. Somebody else whose name I don't know plays basketball. I don't know the show. I've never seen a single episode, but I feel like that's how they tried to market to the male audience.
That's
was
your
that
example.
we have
Cool story,
basketball?
Hansel.
I don't fucking know what I'm saying at this point.
Yeah, that's your go-to.
I was
I
like,
know
from,
you're a fan.
No, from the female perspective, I've tried to get into One Tree Hill like
I
3
can't do
times,
it.
and
I
I
can't
just
do
it
it.
missed me on that one. Well, that and like.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with it, but like I remember growing up watching my sister watch Dawson's Creek.
Yeah,
and
I
I
couldn't
was a
get
big
into
fan.
it.
Well, no, I was a big fan of Dawson's Creek because I love Pacey. But don't laugh at me. Go Pacey. But anyway, I watched her watch that, and I wasn't old enough to like watch teenage shows or whatever have you. And then the OC came out, and that was right when I was getting into high school. So that was like my Dawson's Creek, my One Tree Hill, my.
Dude, mine was Vampire Diaries. That was
I
my Dawson-
love Vampire Diaries. It's different generations between all.
There's so many things that I could say to you,
Hell
Joseph.
yeah.
That was mine.
Joseph.
It was on the CW
What was
as
that?
well.
What do you like the Wolf one too?
Oh, he
So-
No,
loved Teen Wolf.
No, I
Teen
like
Wolf.
season 1 of Teen Wolf,
I was
and then
like,
they
what was
lost
it?
me.
I was like,
Teen Wolf.
my roommate was
That's crazy.
obsessed with Teen
Mine
Wolf.
Ridiculousness. There was
mine was
few of
Vampire
them.
Diaries and Gossip Girl. That was my high school show.
Oh, Gossip Girl I was into.
Rip.
I gotta say, I had a hard time getting into like shows in high school. I wasn't a big shows guy.
Were any of you guys involved in any musicals in high school?
Hell,
Marissa,
no.
yes.
No. No.
No.
No. No, I was playing sports until I got kicked out of sports for fighting. But
So what I'm hearing is you should have been in wrestling.
Yeah, you probably would have done well.
yeah,
Oh, dude, you probably would have killed in
You
wrestling.
would have got ringworm, but you would have did well.
Oh, absolutely would have got like we stepped on those wrestling mats. And you don't want that shit.
Would have got a staph infection real quick.
Rough.
But High School Musical.
So High School Musical, very much a modern day Romeo and Juliet. No,
I'll give it. It's a stretch, but yes, I get what you're
Stretch.
saying.
I would say I would say
I get
okay.
what you're saying.
I'm throwing it that way just because you have two different people from two different worlds, if you will, colliding together to be together. So the first one in general is very much modern day Romeo and Juliet.
I would say yes in a way that their friends don't want them to be with each other because it affects their
which I hated, by the way.
society. Yeah, Joseph had a lot of words.
Yeah,
Oh,
because-
no,
yeah,
absolutely.
I thought it was. I wish they would have added the whole. They do it in the third act where it's like it's on the same day. Like, why wasn't that introduced earlier in the film? Because that would have made more sense for their friends to be like, no, you have to do this. Them not doing that, and then Sharpay being like, no, it's on the same day now. After the fact, really bothered me.
Well, that and like she has that much pull to make it on the next day.
Fucking Timo Meryl Streep is like, yeah, I'll just change. I'll just change it. Like,
I'll tell you
what
right
the
now,
fuck?
Coach would have been in there and be like, hell no. And the
No,
principal
yeah.
would have been like,
And
"You're
even, but
absolutely
even then,
right."
I'm like, I just wish they introduced that layer of the story earlier because it would have made me understand why both sides of the friend group were pulling them to that direction. The fact that they solved their issues because they realized how miserable both of them were because they're just both friend groups were being douches, and then they introduced that layer. I was just like, no, give it to me earlier. Don't give it to me as the final like linchpin of like, oh, we're gonna add this new thing that to go through to get to that. I really disliked it. I think they could have introduced it earlier. That's
Yeah.
my
I
only
agree
thing.
with you. I
But
think
also,
it's.
It's High School Musical, so
I mean,
I'm
I-
trying to think too hard about it. But I'm just like,
I feel like
'Cause like, Arlen don't
I
care.
ignored all of those things when I was
well, yeah, at that time.
a
Yeah, you're
preteen
like,
watching the
keep
movie.
singing. I want to dance.
Dance.
Yeah,
Pop star.
I was just busy staring at my Zac Efron poster on my wall.
You could do no wrong.
He could do
Preaching.
no wrong. He could do no
I
wrong.
have one too, but it's from Iron Claw.
I mean, I mean, so this is like my first, like this is like the number one, I guess, like fun fact, I guess, if you will, which I feel like is just known information now. So like in the first one,
That he didn't sing?
Yeah, Zac Efron is not singing. It's Drew Seeley, who like, in my opinion, like why not just have Drew Seeley play the character?
Because didn't he do like the tour as well? Wasn't
He
he,
did.
the one that was
he
singing
did.
with
Yeah,
her?
he
So
did
I'm
the
like,
tour. Yeah, so very confusing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it has something to do with his age.
He is older, and I also think that when what I read is that when Zac Efron auditioned for the role of Troy Bolton, he got the role, but his voice was very not there yet.
So yeah, the role for Zach is a baritone, and the role for Troy was basically written, or I guess wrote, like
I have no idea
saying
what that
whatever.
means.
Lower,
I'm not a musical
lower
theater
Oh,
kid.
I was like,
register.
what? I was like,
Not a musical theater.
so Troy is
Or middle register,
Troy's a
right?
tenor. Yeah, so Troy is supposed to be a tenor, which is higher.
High pitch?
Yeah, and then
Higher.
and Zach is a baritone, which is lower. So that's why they had somebody. But I was just like, that's so stupid. Like, why not just like almost like a Miley Cyrus, where like they almost didn't have her be Hannah Montana because she was too young, but then they would just like waited a year and then put her in there. I'm like, why not just wait or like change the music or
yeah,
I don't know, something,
like,
right?
Let
Like,
it
if
fit
you
his
like
voice
him.
if you're gonna have him be the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a big thing with like Disney? Like you have to be able to sing, dance, and
You have to be a
act.
triple
Yes,
threat.
you have to
yeah.
be triple threat.
You have to be triple
And like
threat.
that's a main state now. Like you can't. Otherwise, they won't even look at your headshot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, even like I like not to be this person, but like I auditioned for Disney at one point. And
For what role?
And it wasn't for a specific role. It was like they were doing like a general casting for like a bunch of their shows. It was like That's So Raven and like and it wasn't like a main role. Like I would be like high school student number 12 or whatever. I don't know. Like
the
it doesn't
background,
matter.
just walking
So
with
yeah,
the
so they
backpack.
just like they have you do like a bunch of stuff. Like they have you sing. They had like, you know, you give them your headshot. They even have you do like a fake commercial. Like mine was like a Levi commercial that I was doing. Like it was like I just did like a fake bit where I was just like, oh my god, mom, I love my new jeans or whatever it was. So I don't know. It was really dumb. There was maybe 200 kids that showed up for it. It was at the Paradise Pier Hotel. or what was the Paradise Pier Hotel. Is it still the Paradise Pier?
No, I think it's Pixar Place now.
Yeah.
Pixar Hotel.
So that shows you how old it was. But yeah, they ask, yeah, can you sing? Can you dance? What have you been in? Can you do this? Do you have modeling? Do you have photo? Like they ask you all the things. Do you have any educational, background? Like they go through like the ringer. And I think like out of the 200, they might have chosen like one or two. Obviously not me, but it's totally fine. I'm cool with it. But anyway, so Disney, yeah, typically, and then yeah, even in shows, like usually the main character sings like the theme song, kind of thing.
Sing, they can dance, they can act.
And they run it through, and then they have lots of problems.
I got something.
Drugs and alcohol.
Yes.
Jumping back to the very first beginning of High School Musical, right? What is that vacation?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
I get it, but like what?
Ski vacation?
Where are they?
So they are in Albuquerque.
It's like a mountain range in Albuquerque.
I assume they were in Utah.
I want to say that's true.
Joseph and I know they filmed in Utah.
Yes.
Yes.
That is true.
So Joseph and I talked about it because I was like, it doesn't look like it's snow falling on their heads, obviously.
No, I said it was snow. You were saying it was just confetti. I thought it was snow.
Yeah.
No, there is snow falling.
No,
on
there
them.
is snow.
Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah,
talks
no,
about
she's
snowboarding.
talking.
Yeah.
There's snow falling.
Yeah.
on
But
them.
it looks like
obviously
snowboarding.
fake snow.
It-
But
yeah.
But yeah,
it-
it looked
but
to
it's
me, I was
snow
like, is
falling.
it confetti? Is it snow?
Well, it's a $4
supposed to be
million
snow.
budget.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
best.
Confetti snow.
It's confetti snow. And then you look at the landscape where they do like the zoom out into like their where they are in their background. I was like, there's no snow.
He talks about snowboarding.
He does.
Yeah,
So
that was-
I
that was
assume
why they
ski
went.
resort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume they went to Utah because it's close to New Mexico, where they maybe I don't know my map that well.
I don't
Whatever
think it is. I think it's pretty far. So it's New Year's Eve.
It's New Year's
Yes.
Eve.
What? I asked this question because what kid wants to do karaoke?
I don't think he wanted
It
to.
was-
It
I don't
was like
think he
the
wanted
kids-
to.
want
Spotlight him,
but
right?
they just like threw him.
was like a
Yeah,
kids'
sing
club
that
party.
song.
Yeah. Well, but places have that. Like when you go on a cruise,
Like
like,
a
they have
teen
like
club.
a kids area.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a
Yes,
kids club.
I remember I remember because I was on a cruise, but I was too old to do kid shit.
You're in that awkward stage.
Yeah,
You're too
but
old
too
to do
young
kid, but too young to
do like the young
you were like a
adult shit.
preteen
Yeah,
kind of thing.
so I
Okay.
spent the whole time in the arcade.
And I relate with that because whenever my parents did their own thing, I always ended up at the preteen club, and it was very much exactly what you saw in High School Musical. Was karaoke, arcades,
Okay.
food.
So I missed. So I was like,
That was it.
I missed that gap. I guess
You were in that like awkward
it was strange to me.
in
That it was
between.
like, yeah, we're gonna do karaoke, and I was like,
I never did karaoke.
Teenager
Nobody
wants to do
forced me to do
karaoke.
karaoke.
I
Yeah.
mean, nobody like forced you to. I think it was like people that just do karaoke. Like when you go to a karaoke place, it's like the same people doing the same karaoke all the time.
You're not wrong.
like you've done it.
Sure.
Like I mean, you've done karaoke. I've done karaoke.
yeah, I've done it, but I was
I
an
don't
adult.
know if you.
I've never done
I've done it
karaoke.
once.
I've never done it.
One time,
Yeah.
and never again.
I
But
think
I
it's
was an
I like
adult, I mean-
I think it's fun to do in like rooms and stuff, but I feel like you
Yes.
get like this strange like these strange people perform in like clubs like that where it's like people who are like who think that they could be on Broadway but they never did it, or you have like the really drunk people who are like, I could sing and like look at me, and then there's just people who just don't give a fuck and they're just like, I'm gonna sing because I fucking love this. What's that one song that they always sing, the whiskey song?
Tennessee whiskey.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, that
The-
happens
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's
Or
like
I love this
karaoke.
bar.
Yeah, but kids don't know that yet. So like, kids are like at that age, they're awkward and shy, and like so. I don't know. Like you have two attractive teens, and you're like, let's put them together and make them sing this weird
Yeah.
song that they've never heard before.
I just thought it was
Spotlight just hits them and they're just like,
yeah.
I know, and she's
take
like,
this random person and this
Yeah.
random
and like the
person.
one
and
guy is
they're
like,
what?
maybe you'll, or does it say maybe, or does it say,
He was
No,
like,
he's like,
one day you'll
"You'll
thank me."
for
Yeah.
this later. Yeah.
Do that. That was another thing I wrote down. Was like, what the fuck was that?
yeah, I was like, wait,
that shit was weird, dude. You'll
Weird.
thank me later. I love putting preteens together.
I love matching them together.
That's my thing.
That's my job.
I feel like when we watched
So I'm
it,
here every winter season.
I feel like when I watched it with you a couple of days ago, I was looking at it where I was like, I'm gonna just like jam out to the songs, but like watching the actual movie outside of like the singing part, I was like, no,
It's a little weird.
it's a little weird.
It's definitely
weird
like
instances.
a TV movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
100%.
100%.
Definitely
You get that
TV, yeah. I
vibe.
was like,
You
it's
get that
definitely
vibe.
TV.
You get that
vibe.
I have a question just because I always see it in shows, but like I didn't go through it in my high school career life. Did you guys have like a homeroom?
Yes.
You reported to a homeroom, and then after the homeroom, you went to your first class?
No, I don't
No.
think I did.
Really?
So,
I was like, I didn't either.
It depends on the scheduling that you had, because I went to multiple schools that had multiple situations. Like one was block scheduling.
Yeah.
So like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I went to these 2 classes, and then Tuesday, Thursday, some other 2 classes, and it would like flip flop every week, and that was horrible because no one wants to learn about math for like 2 hours, 3 hours straight.
I had a similar schedule in high school, but mine was a 2-week schedule, so every week it alternated, but it was the same every 2 weeks. I had homeroom was I think from like 7:50 to 8 a.m. and it was basically where they took attendance. We were in this and
Took attendance for like an hour?
No, 10 minutes. 7:50
Oh,
to
7:50. I heard 7:15. I was like, what the?
No.
Like, how many were you? I'm like,
Like,
Jesus.
Again.
You clocked in basically.
my God, Jesus.
my homeroom was 10 minutes, and they basically took like our class, and they were like, they organized it by last name, A through whatever, homeroom 1, next homeroom 2, homeroom 3. So they split our entire class, and then you were in the same homeroom your entire year of high school. You were in the same like 30 people. But that was like my homeroom class.
Interesting.
They took attendance, and then so they were like, okay, you were here in the morning. If you did not show up for the rest of your class, they're like, well, you checked in at like 7:50 a.m. What happened like throughout? But that was my homeroom. But we had the same schedule. It was a block schedule where it's like math class, 8 a.m. every morning.
Terrible.
Not fun.
Oh my God.
And then I went to another school, and it was just like periods. So it was the same periods every day.
I never had periods. It was
That was the way to
schedule.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
After
I
I
had.
Oh,
did,
yeah,
after I
periods,
did
yeah.
the block,
Periods.
learning math for 2 hours, fuck that.
I had a
Yeah.
free period every other day.
No, we
But
had,
my free period was basically, honestly, it felt like detention
I
to
want
me.
to say like 3-4 classes, then lunch, and then you would have like the final 2 or 3, and then
I
you're
had,
out.
yeah, I think I had like
Yeah.
I had 0 period, first period, second period, break, then like 3rd and 4th, and then you either had lunch before 5th or 6th.
We had a break?
I had a break.
Before
yeah, we
lunch?
got, it,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's wild.
I didn't
I
have
had-
that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was like a
lunch was
it
our
was like
break,
a
and that was
15. I
fucking-
think it was
Yeah.
like a 15-minute
My
break.
break-
Like
Shit.
15.
My break was from 10:15 to 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, that sounds
But
right,
mine
yeah.
was, so my school was kindergarten to 6th grade were all in break together, and then 6th grade through to 12th grade were all in break together. Yeah.
You almost go, okay.
So I was in
Oh, that's-
break from
that's
6 to
wild.
12. I
You
had
almost
break
throw
with all
down
of
right
them
now? Like,
for like
that's what I heard. I was like, you almost knew what it was called there?
private school.
No,
Oh,
okay,
you
never
almost
mind.
dropped a-
I thought you dropped like a language
Like
thing.
a term, yeah, like a term of
You're gonna
some
go to
Yeah.
They split ours, so my break was 15 minutes from 6th grade to 12th
No,
grade.
I didn't have that shit at all.
But the worst thing that
No
I had,
wonder you hated high school.
I hated high school. My lunch was from 2 to 1 to 2 was lunch,
The
and then
fuck?
2 to 3
An
was
hour
my
lunch?
Yeah, I had an hour lunch. 1 to 2 was lunch, and then I had my
Really?
final period,
Fuck, I
and then
don't
I was
remember.
out for the day.
So for us, we had, it was like homeroom, one class, or like homeroom nutrition, I think is what they called it. It was like a mid lunch break. That block of class, and then like a lunch, and then another class. But then when I went to
Interesting.
the other school, it was like period, lunch,
Oh, interesting.
period, and then you were done.
Oh yeah, no, my lunch was
We
right
were out by,
before
like,
the
2:30.
The end of my period. My lunch was 7th period, and then I had 8th period, and then I went home.
Well, we don't really see all of that in High School Musical, so
No, they were always in lunch or homeroom.
Yeah, they're always doing
They're always
something weird.
chilling.
They were either at detention, lunch, or homeroom.
Yeah.
Like,
oh
only saw
yeah,
them, like,
I
in
totally
2
didn't
classes.
need the subtitles for this movie where they were like detention style or like detention Darbus style. Like I didn't need the home. I don't need the. You don't need to tell me. I know you're in high school. I know you're in detention because you mentioned it earlier.
Also,
And why the fuck would Troy and Chad be painting a tree?
I have a question.
That was my question.
That's my
Yes.
favorite quote though.
So, detention Darbus style was 15 minutes long. Were your detentions 15 minutes?
Hour
Hell
long.
no.
Hour
I-
long.
Exactly.
Hour long, and they
60-minute
were
detention.
after school.
Marissa, go ahead and say how long were your detentions?
I was never in detention.
Exactly.
So I have no idea.
Our detention's not 15 minutes.
Mine was an hour long after school. So 3 to 4
Yep.
p.m. I was in detention.
Dude, on-campus suspensions were wild because you're
Oh,
there
I
in one
hate
room
it.
and then you have to wait an extra hour after class, like after school was out.
I did
Yeah, it was
on-campus
fucking
suspension
wild,
for
dude.
3 days.
Better than Saturday school though, man. That's just
3 days.
Saturday
Monday,
school sucked.
Tuesday,
Yeah, that
Wednesday.
was terrible.
All day from 7 in the morning until 5 p.m. I was in school and I just had to sit in the art room.
But did they dance and sing to you while you were going
No,
through
I
your
think
period?
I think I would have lost. I think I would have gone.
Did you paint trees and moons?
No, I just sat in the art
And
room.
what are you getting done in 15 minutes?
Nothing.
Hey, they painted and attached a couple leaves to that tree.
They made whole sets, 15 minutes?
My detention wasn't. I would have loved if my detention was 15 minutes.
He was able to confirm that the girl
My-
he took a picture of was actually her. He was like,
My
That pissed me
favorite,
off, too. I'm like, it's been a
one of
week.
my favorite quotes though from the movie is in that detention scene, and it's the dad, and he's coming up, and he's like, "What the heck are those two doing at a tree?" It's one of my favorite quotes. I love the dad. The dad's really silly, but
Coach Bolton.
yes,
Coach Bolton's great.
and I also want to know how much money he makes as a coach because their
I
house.
asked Joe.
Their
house is beautiful. Oh,
I'm
right.
assuming it's the
No.
mom. I'm assuming
The
it's
mom.
the
What
mom.
does that
Cat.
mom do?
Yeah, I was like,
However,
they have
Never
a full
mentioned it.
basketball court.
they do,
in
but
their
you
backyard.
also have
Yeah.
to factor in we live in a state and they live in another state where it's not the same.
Whatever state that may be. you
whatever
decide.
state that is.
Yeah. So High School Musical is set in New Mexico.
100%. Yeah, no, I get that.
I'm just saying, like,
but
she's
it's-
obviously
he's still a high school
Yeah.
basketball coach.
I honestly, I assume from the way the mom acts and everything, I assume she works as like a VP of like.
She's got to
an
be.
organization.
She's the
She's
one
making-
bringing
she's
in
the
the
one
cheddar.
making money.
She's like a VP of like some corporation.
That's why when she's like, yes,
senior director and up.
That's why he's able to go live his basketball dreams.
That or like maybe he was on like a team for a short stint
No,
and maybe came.
no.
I don't know. Like
I think they addressed it in the second one. He's just high school.
his best years were
High school. He
That's
says
so
it. His best
sad.
years were high school.
oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, Coach Bolton.
that's so sad.
Not sorry. You're. Come
You did
on, bro.
what you're living vicariously through your son and
Yes.
his friends.
And that is a huge
I
problem. that
prefer
bring
the
up.
dad from the South Park episode when they copied.
It's exactly what I thought about.
Slap,
I don't want to
slap.
play sports, Dad. Slap, slap. You're gonna do dance jazz for 3 years.
Dude, I love that's my favorite.
So
one of my
funny.
favorite South
I
Park
wanna-
episodes.
I want to fast forward a little bit to like the auditions. So they're doing. Yeah, I was like, we're kind of. Yeah, I was like, we're trailing.
on
a
the
We
little
spent
first 10
3
minutes
hours
of
on
this
one
movie.
movie right now.
I know the auditions that they go through. I love just like the random dancer that comes in through, and he just like spirals out of control and like off stage, and he crashes into.
Yeah, that
I
was
feel
funny.
like the audition scene, the whole like audition thing, it was just so long. I didn't
It
mind
was.
it as a younger person watching it, but watching it with Joseph was like, okay, I'm over like show me 2 auditions, but some of them were just like very long, like the interpretive dance, the girl and the guy in their plaid like skater boy, skater girl shorts.
Well, the guy's like clearly chuckling to himself while they're doing it. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
It's just so long it's just unnecessarily long.
I loved it.
I'm
I
so
think I
sorry.
think that I honestly feel like this movie is actually paced pretty appropriately. It's an hour and 47 minutes. I feel like it's like we kind of get the story right away, and then they're kind of jumping from scene to scene. Even after a musical number, I feel like they're not situated on one musical number at a time. I feel like they kind of move. In my opinion, I feel like they're moving through it pretty.
There is not like a song every chunk of time. And the song that, well, I will say that though. There are a couple songs that you could probably trim a little bit of that.
Oh, there's so many.
Oh, there's one in
little bit.
particular that I'm just like, get that shit out of here. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that. We'll get to it when we do best and worst. I found in my readings this funny article, and I'll send it to you guys if you really want to see it. But they had compared High School Musical and the franchise to communism.
continue.
They specifically were talking about the separation of classes, class control, overcoming the messaging of the bourgeoisie, and kind of just like understanding that joining together and allowing
The birds are the bourgeoisie. That's all I keep thinking of.
they're just like it's mostly
It's
pertaining.
not that serious.
I know it's mostly pertaining to like stick to the status quo. You're being in your clique, and then like kind of shutting up and conforming.
Yeah,
kind
and
of
everything's
thing.
red.
Red is a power color.
Yeah,
That's
of
probably-
communism.
He's not
But
wrong.
anyway,
It's a real thing.
You're not
wrong.
If you guys want to read about it, I will absolutely send you the article. I just saw that and I was like, what?
They went real deep. I also saw
They went super deep.
I saw someone talk about how Sharpay is not actually a bad person or the bad guy in the movie.
Ooh, I'm saving that take for something.
that
For the second
Troy and
Gabriella.
Gabriella are actually pieces of shit.
You know,
And that she gave her vocal lessons. She really doesn't care that she's taking over. Like, she wants people they want actively, like, yeah, please join.
But she wants people
Context, though.
Yeah, I was like, she wants people to join who are like I think she even said, she's like, we always need like
backup
Whatever.
dancers.
Backup
like,
people, yeah.
The context of it, yes. But what she's actually saying, like, I could see how someone could say that, but I don't feel that way.
I know what Joseph's take on Sharpay is for the second movie, and I'll let him speak to that.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
I fucking hate Sharpay. I hated her in the first movie. I hate her in the second. I hate her all the time.
But I do have a hot take on that when we get into the second movie.
I do too. I
I
didn't
love
care
it.
for her that much in the We'll
Not
save
on
it for
her.
the second.
Yeah, save it for a
Yeah,
second. So you guys know how I love like casting
Yes.
stuff, people.
Let's hear it.
I only did this specifically for 3 people, but I was looking at Sharpay specifically since we're talking about her, and I was like, who does she remind me of? This is driving me nuts. And I was like, she reminds me of Angelica from the
From
Rugrats.
Rugrats?
100%.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
see that.
100%.
And then I was like, even Troy is very like Tommy-esque, like Tommy Pickles. And then I was like, oh my god! And then that means Gabriella is Kimmy Finster. And then I like went, that was my like rabbit hole. And then I was like, oh my god, does that mean like Chucky is Chad? And then like I just like
You went down the...
Yeah.
So I just found that funny since you're saying how much you hate Sharpay, but
I hate Sharpay.
She's
as
quite
much as
annoying.
Sharpay is a terrible person, I think this is my favorite Ashley Tisdale role. I think she plays her so well.
Maddie Fitzpatrick from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. That is my favorite Ashley Tisdale role.
Well, mine. No, don't.
I was gonna say.
He likes
like,
what?
who?
Is it Picture Perfect?
You mean Sharpay?
Oh my god, I forgot we
all I
made
know
them
her
watch
as.
it.
We made them watch Picture Perfect. You guys don't remember it, sorry.
Anyway,
She has
vaguely.
she has a really good line. I like her like
Anyway.
evaporate tall person. No? Okay, cool. The only one that knows
I
quotes.
vaguely remember.
I remember it. I was like, because they call people tall people and short people in it.
Yeah, tall people, short
Also
people.
classism.
That is classism.
So I mean, to that other person's point.
Yeah.
Cold War.
I think I was gonna say, since we're talking about specific characters, I feel like the writing for Gabriella is really weak. I feel like just her character in general is just kind of
There.
like, you always say like, why is this person so special? Like, why? So that was kind of like what was going through my head with her, which was kind of like, why is she so great?
Because they
Like,
sang
she's smart,
together.
cool, and she's pretty. Like, she's pretty, she's smart. Okay, cool. But then I'm like,
Pretty
what do they talk
bland.
about when they're together?
Nothing.
Because he's basketball all the time, and she's like math and science stuff. So I'm like, what are they talking about?
They talk about nothing, and I've not watched the first High School Musical in a while until when we watched it.
She's a bland character in my opinion.
She's a very bland
all
character.
bland characters.
They're all bland characters, and I agree with you.
I like Troy. I think the writing for Troy, I personally feel like the connection. I feel like
the struggle he
cares.
has with his dad being the coach. I can
Yeah.
I can see
I could
there's
see
layers there.
there's layers.
It's just the way they introduced that. I wish they would have kind of went more deeper. But obviously, it's a Disney
Yeah.
Channel movie, so you can't do much.
They kind of touch
Yes.
on it in the third.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say
I
in the
know.
second
Yeah.
one they kind of touch on
Yeah.
it a little bit more.
Yeah.
They do.
They give
Yeah.
you that.
Well, Gabriella is
Bigger.
just like,
She's a very
what else
bland
do you
character.
bring other than being very smart and
Yeah, like her mom's a single mom.
Mhm.
What's going on with her dad?
yeah,
Like, she
what are
could
her
have
struggles
so
at
much.
home
Yeah.
and like what she's dealing with
Yeah.
like not having a father figure and stuff like that. That would have been
But
something.
they
I
still have
would've-
that gorgeous house where she has a big ass fucking patio.
All I
We're so
know.
poor. We live in a 2-story house. And
All
Oh, with a
It's-
big balcony and a
Big
place
ass
to
balcony,
dance
dude.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
dancing
have to
in.
climb up the what is that like?
Oh, just wait till you
Oh,
get the
the-
third.
yeah,
Just
the
trestle
wait till you
or
get the
whatever
third
Wait till
one.
the third.
Wait till
All
the
I
third
know
one.
about
God.
Gabriella is she loves leaning against lockers.
She
really does.
She
Yeah,
does.
It's really funny.
Did it for you.
I'm also supposed to believe that everybody's at that fucking pep rally for the basketball team.
Yeah,
Hell
can,
no.
can we talk about
Yeah.
how
It's
the
empty
entire
spaces
school
everywhere.
is just
Okay.
empty?
I was like very briefly because I was like, I feel like we're touching almost too much on like our high school.
We went
stuff.
on a
It's, like,
fucking
taking
tangent
over.
before
Yeah,
we
it's, like,
even got
taken-
into
I know,
No,
like,
but
it's
like
taken over.
that, like High School Musical, you have Gabriella doing her singing song, right? Her song. But was your high like it was just an empty school. until she gets to like her pep rally.
Ours was full.
I don't know.
We had 2 separate ones because there was like the first and second years, and then the third and fourth years. If you want to call it, if you want to break it up into
I
that.
honestly don't remember enough about like pep rallies, homecomings.
It was
and
two
such.
2 full grades were in one, and then other 2 grades were in another.
Interesting.
I remember specifically because I was in a class that I probably was too smart for, but it was mostly certain grades that were in that class.
Were you taking math with the 6th graders or?
No, not the 6th graders, but yeah, like younger kids.
Oh my god!
And then I was like, "Hey, mine's ready. I'm gonna go to that." And she's like, "No, you're not. You're going with all of us." And I had to go to the younger kid one, and I was like, "I don't know these
Sick.
fucking people."
And they were like, "Are you the janitor?"
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god!
I'm the wise janitor.
So the music. So my question, which I never thought to ask when I was watching High School Musical the first time around, was, what is the musical that they're auditioning for about?
No idea.
So I actually found like a loose like description of it, and it was like broken down into acts and everything, where it's like, this is act 1 and like this is what happens, and then act 2 and this is what happens. So I will give you guys the basic summary of the musical that they are auditioning for. It is called Twinkletown, which they do mention in the show.
They do mention Twinkletown.
Yeah, they made
And
me
it
laugh.
is set in the 1970s in New York, and it is about a diamond industry businessman's daughter and a lower class boy who's obsessed with outer space, and how they met, fall in love, and are breaking free from the industry. And then her dad's involved and all that stuff. But yeah, that's the. And Kelsey also wrote this, by the way. The girl that plays piano. Sorry if you don't know.
Yeah, the one with the M&M hat.
She's got them in
The military hat that she wears.
Oh, I was thinking like the candy.
The candy?
M&M.
No.
Eminem the rapper.
I know.
Yeah, the rapper. Yeah, sorry. No, I get where your head's at.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the blue one.
She's the blue one.
She's the blue M&M.
Oh my god.
Blue M&M played saxophone.
So,
You know I'm right.
I think we'll just get into. I was like, we spent so much time on the first one. Let's go into. So best song, worst song. Ryan, hit me with it.
What is the name of the song? Because apparently I don't know it.
Okay.
But the Soarin', we're flying.
We're breaking free.
Breaking free.
Yeah, Breaking Free. Number 1 for me.
That's your best song.
Because of the memes from Vine.
Yeah.
I had runners up, but I forget
Fair.
what they're called, and I'm
fine.
not gonna sit
That's
here
fine.
and pick out every song.
Worst song, or do you want to do best first and then we'll?
Worst song, the first one was terrible. I hate it.
Started something new.
Oh, you don't like
Yeah,
Star
no. I feel like there's one that's even worse than that, but I can't think of
There
it.
absolutely is.
There
but-
absolutely is. Just
Yeah, it's probably the one I'm thinking. of.
My favorite was probably the first song.
started
Start
something
something
new.
Yeah. The one I hated the most was when they're in the cafeteria.
Stick to the
Oh,
status
stick
quo.
to the status
Yeah,
quo.
that one lost me for a bit. Where I'm just like, I'm
used
gonna.
to-
that was
I
their
used
like
to
show tuny
love that
version
one.
thing.
I
Yeah,
used to love
that one.
I can,
I liked it because it was so show toony. So plus, I always love when they can you can showcase like other characters that are not the main characters. Just it shows a little bit more depth. So
I get you.
I really like Get Your Head in the Game.
no, that's great. I love Get
I
Your
like
Head in
Get
the
Your
Game.
Head in the Game.
Choreography's great.
That was
Yeah.
a runner up for me. That was what it was called.
My least favorite song, it is Stick to the Status Quo, but since you took it, I really don't like Gabriella's song, When There Was Me and You.
That's
I
made
hate it.
You
I
know, like when she
fucking- When she
started
just, like,
singing to that
leans
giant
against
fucking
his
poster.
poster.
That's the
of
best
Troy
part
and
of
all.
it. That's the best part
Okay,
of it.
yeah.
I
That's the
don't
best
like
part.
that
I said
one.
though we get like that sick Troy
Yeah, that
Wildcat
one's-
Yeah, the
poster where he's
Wildcat
just
poster.
like-
Yeah, they're all
yeah.
posing.
Which also like
Homeboy's dunking like he's never dunked before.
Yeah.
I'm
bro,
like,
you don't
It's
have
so
pictures
bad.
of the dudes like.
in action shots,
What?
bro.
Oh my god!
You guys took glamour shots for
Yeah.
your basketball team?
I honestly thought you would have picked
big.
like a Ryan and Sharpay song for yours. I thought you were gonna choose like Bop to the Top.
I hate Bop to the Top too. I honestly hate honestly almost every song in the first one.
Damn, that's cold.
I still sing. I could probably sing the entire musical.
Okay, God, we get it.
She's excited. I'm like,
What the hell was it? Was it?
My,
She's like,
my
oh my
calves
God,
say-
Taylor.
Throwing things
my
around.
calves say, I love all the songs, but Sharpay and Ryan are the worst. But I will save that for the second one.
I love them together in this one. I feel like they just vibe off each other really well, which is weird because I know that they did not like each other at all, the actors. So, yeah, they did not like each other.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I want to say they're more friendly now. I feel like I saw like an interview with one of them being like, yeah, we hated each other in the first one, but now like that we're adults, like it's a little bit
There's
different.
so much drama with the actual cast.
Oh, yeah, because then you
Yeah,
had
one
like
we can't
Zach
even
and
talk
Vanessa
about.
dating and yeah. Ooh,
Somebody leaked something.
Yeah.
somebody.
Ashley Tisdale and Vanessa Hudgens are no longer friends.
Yeah, they're no longer friends for some weird reason.
I have
Really?
I have a theory on why they're no longer
We
friends,
have
but we'll
theories,
save it
yeah,
out
we'll save
for
that.
something else.
I also chose When There Was You and Me as my worst song. I just, every time, and I'm going to just like say this now, like every time Vanessa is just singing on her own, not a fan.
I don't think she's the greatest singer.
I think she's a great singer. Like I saw her in Tick Tick Boom and I loved her in that.
I've not seen her in that.
Oh, I love Tick Tick Boom. It was great. I actually do think she can sing. Like I think that she is a singer. I don't think
I
she's an
liked
actress.
her in Grease when she did the live.
Yeah, she was great in. Oh, especially because her dad died like an hour before she went on stage.
That's
oh
true.
my god, props to her. But yeah, that was my worst song. I split it between. I love Get Your Head in the Game because I love the choreography. I just love Kenny Ortega's choreography. I think it's great for like musical theater. But I also love All in This Together. It's the end song. I put that as like kind of like my runner up to it, only because I feel like it didn't really serve a purpose to the musical itself. Like all these songs, like they fit within the musical because they were like help telling the story or what their characters are going through and kind of setting us up for other things. So this one was just kind of like we're concluding the show. We're doing an ensemble song, which like sometimes you have, sometimes you don't have in musicals. So like I thought just the choreography, and I know that choreography too.
Same.
The only thing I have to say about that particular song is
Did you see it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
The,
Sorry, the bug.
the whoever did the musical production, the sound engineer or whatever, was just patting themselves on the back when they were like, yo, I put in the sneaker skirt into
Oh,
the
yeah.
beat. They were like, oh, fuck. Hell yeah, brother.
It's High School Musical.
I mean, yeah, it was some Billie Eilish shit. Or sorry, Phineas shit.
Oh, I was like, I like Phineas.
He's the most talented
He's the
person in
talent.
that duo.
Yeah, he's the talent. Anything else on the first High School Musical?
No.
Rate it.
Ratings.
Rate it up. Joseph, go.
Yeah, I think I'm at a. I prefer a lot of more Disney Channel original movies. This is the bottom of the barrel for me, so I'm at a 0.5.
Ooh.
Damn.
Damn.
That's a low.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Like I prefer other. Like we talked about it before we started recording. There's that one Greaser Disney movie. I always forget the name.
Teen Beach Movie.
Yeah,
Teen Beach Movie. I prefer that
I
so
can't
much more
wait till we do Teen Beach Movie.
than this one. And she's gonna get mad at me, but I preferred Camp Rock over this one. This one just
That's rough.
misses
That's
the
a rough
marks for me.
statement.
I don't know if it was because of my high school experience. Without getting into details, I just really don't like this film and rewatching it again. My favorite part of the film was watching her reenact certain scenes and songs. But even that wasn't enough for
You
me
can
to
redo the
actually
entire dance if you want.
love the totality of the film. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm at a 0.5.
We're not even going to release this podcast. We're just going to have the footage of like Mooney reenacting the songs. And
Yeah, throw that in there right here.
He didn't film it.
Yeah, he did.
Snooze you.
Damn it.
We talked about it beforehand.
Ryan.
Boom. Not great. I gotta say, this is my least favorite of the trilogy. Yeah, I'll give it.
This is the least favorite of the trilogy?
Oh,
Really for
100%.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
I was,
You're gonna be surprised. I give it a 1. I was thinking 0.5, but there are some things that are redeeming about it.
That's right.
It's not great. It's very cringy. It's very like. There's something about that though that has to be said of like high school and being at that age that it would be cringy. But at the time when they were making it, they're like, no, this is what's fucking cool right now.
I mean,
And it is not now.
2006.
Exactly. Because like it's full of 2006 fashion. It's like Hollister
Oh,
and,
it's so
and
great.
Fashion.
The fashion.
Abercrombie threw up all over that movie and the
yeah.
fedora hats and everything.
Yeah,
that
there's a few
continue
outfits.
on.
I feel more in the second one that you pointed out. We're like, oh,
Oh.
you should. No,
We'll get to this. Yeah,
We'll get to
it.
it.
We're
Oh,
getting
we'll
there.
get to it.
'Cause-
It's so good.
This one, fashion. 2, high fashion, dude. But yeah, I give it a 1. 5.
This honestly hurts my soul because if you asked me in 2006, 5 out of 5.
She's like 10.
5 out of 5 in 2006. I'm going to go 3 out of 5.
Okay.
I'm going to go 3 out of 5 because
Respectable.
it had its lows, it had its highs, it had its lows. Watching it in my 30s just doesn't sit the same. But yeah, 3 out of 5.
Solid. I am actually also gonna go 3 out of 5. Only because I grew up with this. I feel like it resonated with me. I love the music. I feel like that's the same in all 3 movies. I like, no matter what you want to say about the storytelling, I feel like the music is there, the choreography is there. I actually really this is like one of the things that I actually am like really good with, like Zac Efron in. I don't know how I feel about him as like an actor or not. Like I'm up and down with him.
He found his.
I just don't know.
Niche.
He found his
Yeah.
On.
I was on the same boat with you. So like when we watched Iron Claw, that was my biggest like.
Like, could you have replaced him with somebody else? Probably.
In Iron Claw?
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
this one.
Ness.
Oh, I
No,
know,
Ness.
yeah,
Oh, no,
absolutely,
Ness.
yeah.
Iron
Yeah.
Claw, I
This
haven't,
one, yeah.
we haven't seen Iron Claw.
Honestly,
so
I would
don't
have
know.
said that the guy that was actually singing probably could have.
Oh, I
done
love
it.
Juicy.
Yeah.
Did we make you watch another
Cinderella
Cinderella
story?
story?
Yes.
With,
Yeah, we did.
with Selena, the main guy in that. That's like
him?
the dancer. That's who's singing.
He could have played that. He could have been Troy. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
He was
But
just
so
too
I'm like,
old.
eh.
That was their biggest thing, is he was too
Yeah,
old.
he was just too old. So, but his voice wasn't. So, I also feel like in this one too, I have like this small comment. Like in the later movies, they kind of like pair up each of the characters, like the main characters and the side characters have like a paired up. Like,
I wrote a note on that.
yeah. I was like, what was your note on it?
My note was I felt like it was unneeded, or they should have made a bigger deal, like showing chemistry between certain side characters.
Fair.
Being what's his name, Corbin Blue.
Yeah.
Chad Danforth.
Yes,
That's the jersey you're wearing.
And her friend.
And Monique.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't.
They just kind of threw it together, and it was like, oh, I felt weird about it.
I agree. I think
was
it
a
was more
throwaway.
so
We won the
like,
game. You want to go on a date? Oh,
You
you just
wanna-
asked me on a
No,
date.
they have like
Even
they
though I
have like
hate
a
him the whole
small.
movie.
They have like small little moments, like when they first get
Oh, yeah.
together. They're kind of like, hey, we need to talk about this.
Yeah, 'cause they work
And then
together to
and
break-
then they work together to
I
break
get it,
it
but
apart.
they don't show that. They just
They
go, we
don't.
need to talk. We
Yeah.
work it out off screen.
Yeah.
And then, hey, we're here, blah, blah, blah. Throwaway line real quick. Moving on.
Yeah,
And it just kind of goes real quick.
you get like kind of a little bit more in like the third one.
In the third one, you
Yeah.
get more
Yes.
of them.
Like
But-
there's like a
I
whole
don't
point.
know.
But that
like
was
a whole
like, you
scene
could have built up to
resounding
that
it.
mid-2 movie. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
2,
even
you
in
could
the
have
second
built
one, you
that
don't.
more.
Yeah, second one, I don't really see them at all, really. Like, other than when they're like in a group setting.
Yeah, you get like minor. Like I think at one point they mentioned like something, and then like in one of the songs they're like, oh, like he really wants a car, and she's like in the back of his fake car or something, whatever it is.
She's in the backseat of his fake.
Mine was more so in like spoilers for like later movies, because he hasn't seen the third. But eventually they kind of group together like I know they kind of group together. Kelsey, who's the pianist.
Jason?
Yeah. Well, no, they put her with Ryan at like some point. Like they go to prom together because they do a whole prom thing. But like originally they like show kind of like a little like a snippet where it's like Jason, who's like the one kid
The
that
dumb kid.
can't sing like at all. The one who's always like, so how was your summer, Miss Jarvis? Like that
I was
kid.
about to bring it up, and then in the first one, there's like a guy that kind of comes up to her.
Yeah.
And like, I guess they're
So
a
they end up
thing
pairing
now?
her
I'm
with
like,
Martha, who's like the dancer girl.
The girl who likes to pop.
Yeah, and
lock.
lock and jam. Yeah, that
It's a
girl.
quote.
Yeah, it's from the song. Okay, anyway, but anyway, Jason and Kelsey forever. I think they would have been cute.
Oh, I think they would have been a great couple.
Sorry, Martha.
Fuck you, Martha.
I actually wrote that, but then I was like, nah, she seems like she'd be nice.
Fuck you, Martha.
She seems nice. But anyway, so High School Musical 2 time, finally.
I just want to say one thing about High School Musical 2. I think it is the worst of... No. Take it back.
Going straight into your ratings right now.
Take it back. I have a love-hate relationship with High School Musical 2. I loved it as a kid, and rewatching it, and just trying to like second guess a lot of the things, I was very confused with the timeline of High School Musical 2.
Okay.
So High School Musical 2 takes place the summer before their senior year.
Yes.
I thought it was the same summer after the events of High School Musical, the first one. I did not realize that a whole year and a half has passed between the first and the second until I rewatched it whenever we rewatched it.
That's a good point. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that a year and a half has passed between the first and the second movie.
It
High school
did?
time-wise. Yes.
Yeah.
Because the
They're in
first
their
one was
junior
set
year.
sophomore year. The second one is set at the
Their
end
junior
of
year's
junior
ending.
year,
Oh.
right before
Because I
senior
told,
year.
because I remember asking you, I'm like, the way the first one ends, it's not the end of the school year
No, yeah.
whatsoever.
No.
Maybe like April, maybe deep May.
It's
I don't
the-
know, but it's not the end of the school year.
No,
So when
it's
this one
like 2
starts,
weeks.
it's the last day of school, and I'm like, is this the same school year? And then we end up finding out, no, it was the end of their
junior.
junior year.
They
Like,
do have a throwaway line where they say,
And I'm just-
it's
yeah,
our
but-
junior year. is
Yeah, 'cause they
over,
Maybe
start
I
blah,
missed
thinking-
blah,
that.
blah."
Maybe
They
I
start-
always
It's
thought that
real
it was
quick.
like their junior year was where we start, but then that doesn't make sense
No,
either.
it's
Yeah.
the end of
Okay.
their
Yeah.
it's the end of their junior year because that's when they're starting. Like they've already either submitted their college applications or thinking about where
Yes.
they're going to college,
So
or
it's
they're
been over a
starting
year
their
since the
college
first one.
application. So sophomore year has gone and ended. Now we're at the end of their junior year. So
feel
Troy,
like they should've just done
Gabriella,
sophomore,
Chad, and all of
junior.
them have
Yeah.
already been in a relationship for a year and a half. They've all been friends for a year and a half. Which then my biggest thing was like I told Joseph was like kind of the point that you brought up with Chad and I forgot her name of her friend Taylor, where he makes the comments like, I'm about to take her on a proper date. I'm like, you guys have been together for a year and a half. Now you're ready to take her on a date?
I think his version of like a proper date is
It's
like,
him with
I
a
have a
car,
car, yeah, so I can drive us anywhere kind of thing.
To be fair,
timeline
though,
was my biggest issue
yes,
with the second one.
timeline, and like another thing too is like her moving to that school
Mm-hmm.
sophomore year is fucking wild. To do that to a kid is rough. That's a rough time.
It's rougher to do it like senior year.
It's any time where it's like friendships have already been made and stuff,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
I feel
yeah,
like that's
middle
a
of-
huge trope though.
not
in,
even
like,
at the beginning
movies.
of the school year though. Like it was like
Mid-school year.
midway.
Yeah, like right after winter break.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, like
that's
friendship has
crazy.
already. If
I'll
you're
take you on a
beginning-
nice little vacation
Yeah.
and then boom.
We're going
happens.
skiing,
Boom,
then
you're
new
going to a new
school.
fucking school,
Yeah.
new fucking people.
But it's
That's-
okay. You're smart. You'll just meet this kid here, and then
Yeah.
So this one, I think my first comment that I made was that like they're in homeroom again.
They're
That
always in
clock is
homeroom.
fucking huge. In Miss
it's
Jarvis's
yes,
room.
that thing is.
Holy
Is it? I didn't notice.
shit.
It's fucking.
I don't
It's
know. I don't
fucking
takes over the whole
I don't know
wall.
what you're talking about because
It's
I didn't
wherever
notice it
she
at all.
stands, like on her stage when she talks to them. In the background is just essentially that clock, but just the entire background is
Yeah.
the clock.
Is the clock.
It's almost like
Oh,
the
the
entire
whole,
neighborhood.
like,
I
the
didn't
whole
even
wall.
notice.
and it's just them
Oh,
staring
it's
at it
so
like
big.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll watch it
summer,
again.
summer.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and they're just like summer, 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 and she's
summer.
like, and then she makes out like her little moan of like summer.
I did laugh though. That kid was like, "What's your favorite summer memory, Ms.
Oh, I
Douglas?"
forgot. Jason.
Stupid.
And I was like, "Yo,
Jason.
you're gonna get your ass kicked."
Yeah.
But also, he's smart as fuck. If you really think about it,
Oh yeah, let her
Waste
kill
the
more
time.
clock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Kill
we
more
can't
clock.
waste
Talk
that
about
let
time.
it get her
That's
cooking, and then she's
Not
just,
educational.
yeah,
Just be like, hey, what was your?
we're gonna coast it out to
That's
the
a
end.
smart move.
And everyone gets mad.
Yeah.
Like, no, we want to learn more.
Yeah,
Fuck
write it out.
You
write
still have
it
to wait there. Like he's actually
you,
giving-
Troy.
Yeah.
I love what time. What time is it? I feel like it's a great intro song. I feel like it's a great way to reintroduce these characters that we found in the first one. I love like the colors throughout this entire movie. I think they really pop in this one.
Yeah.
Like I've always
They
made
really
a
do.
comment about
It's
That's
like
very
very
cool
early
thing.
to or
Yeah.
Very, like,
early
yeah, it's
2000s.
very early 2000s. I've always made
Yeah.
the comment too of like Vanessa's hair in this one. It's got like
So
it's like
much better.
that black blue like sheen
much
to it.
better.
It's so
I
pretty.
mean that jet black.
Yeah.
It's just
I think it's that, and
so
I think it's
pretty.
like the flattering. It's a flattering haircut, fashion on point in this movie.
So the first movie,
Yeah, it is.
it's like Hollister and Abercrombie and Fitch and American Eagle threw
I
up
mean,
all over that movie.
This one's also
This movie, high fashion. They
What,
they
limit- they
turned
went to
that
limited
dial.
two?
They
No,
turned
that was
that
the first
dial up
movie.
to fucking 11, dude.
Marissa, are you
This
telling me
fashion.
in the mid 2000s you were not wearing dresses with leggings / jeans underneath it?
I
did.
no, not really. Maybe once.
No, I'm a man.
I would hope so.
I know. I'm just that's the joke.
Everything that they wore when High School Musical 2 came out
Would you call it fabulous?
It was spot on. I'll say that.
It
No.
was spot,
Of the
it
time,
was spot
that
on
was
for
like-
the time.
Guys didn't even get my
Spot
joke.
on for the time.
What would you say?
She said something about it being fabulous, and that is a terrible song, so I will not acknowledge it.
Is that from the movie that we
It's
just watched?
Sharpay's song.
Yes. Dead to me.
No.
Where Ryan's playing the piano in the pool and he's got his sick pink tux.
Where she goes, "Where is
Ryan
my
didn't watch
pink
this movie.
Prada
I did.
tote?
I
need."
She
my
has the turkey
Tiffany hairband."
poolside. Why does she have turkey poolside? I don't know.
Because she wanted towels imported from Turkey.
Oh yeah, okay. I know what song you're talking about. Yeah, no, that song is
turkey
probably
imported
bottom
from
of
Maine.
the rung.
Pool boys imported from Spain or wherever.
Yeah, that was the worst song in the movie for me.
Agreed.
That's rough.
I take that back. There's one that's worse.
Yes.
There is.
True.
I have two
Yes.
that are contenders for number one.
I like that song towards the end because Troy walks in and she's just like, "Oh my God, there he is," and he's just like walking in like a robot, where he's like, "Oh, like."
Oh, the noise you made.
Because he is like, his arms like they're literally like flat, and he's just like doing one of these like, "Oh, look at this place, it's so like," brr, 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 brr." And then he sees her, and hilarity ensues. But the necklace, the T for Troy. She's like, "Is it
T as in
for
Troy?
Troy?
Well,
no,
yeah,
it's fucking
no.
T for Thundercats, bitch.
For
Like
Tourette's,
what?
and I have it, Gabriel.
Shit ass fuck. It's T for
All the memes that have come out from the T
The
and
memes. Every time they change it, it's always something else. I'm like, that's a great meme.
That's really funny.
Her stomach.
I'm so sorry. I will say when that movie came out, I made my mom drag me to the nearest like Claire's so I can buy the T is for Troy necklace.
God.
I still have
has
it
it.
somewhere.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. It's probably like green and like
Can I borrow it
no
T for
for the Oscars?
oh
Timothy.
for Timothy.
I was like I was like
Today, Junior.
Honestly,
I was like trying to think of basketball players that start with T. I was like
Tim Duncan,
No.
it's like
Damn it.
the Joker.
the Luca. Honestly, I feel like that necklace doesn't even fit my neck anymore.
Oh, that's so sad.
I was like 12 years
And
old.
age.
I would love to give props to the manager of the country club because putting up with Sharpay's ass, making all those changes,
Colton?
and doing all that
Oh
shit.
my god, I felt so bad.
Bro.
That is what you do.
You're supposed to be annoyed with them, but you just feel bad for this poor
I feel
sack,
so
man. They just
bad.
I
for
just
this
have a
guy.
family that I'm trying to take
got
care
a
of.
mortgage. I got
That's all the time.
I
That's
love when he
fucking
when he
big.
goes up to that like water feature and he's just like, and I'm like, dude, I feel you.
That is working with. That's like
I fucking
like I knew
feel
somebody
you.
who worked. He was a golf pro at a club, and he quit because he was like, I just fucking got tired of that shit. Like I love golf and
There's
everything,
certain
but-
people, man, that are just like they're
The
fucking
bathrooms
twisted.
on Green 6, the doors are kind of creaky. Can you get someone out here to? And he's like, oh my fuck.
Honestly, bless
I'm
his
over
soul,
it.
I couldn't do his job.
No.
I think I would have decked Sharpay in the throat.
Oh my god, I served one of the housewives one time, and she got all uppity because like she was just like, "Where's my Veuve Clicquot? Why isn't it in a crystal clear glass that's chilled?" And like, you're not supposed to serve champagne in a chilled glass. But anyway, that's besides the point. She didn't order it. She just was like, "Where is it?" And I was like, "You didn't order this." And she just like assumed that I would know, and like I won't release who that is, but fucking bitch, man. Where's my Veuve Clicquot? I don't know. Fucking up your ass around the corner. She tipped well though. So, good for her.
I would hope so.
High School Musical too.
High School Musical too. That country club does look pretty plush though. I would say
It was
there.
pretty nice.
Very
I'm not gonna lie.
I think
I'd
it's
play
an
there.
actual.
Oh, yeah,
club
100%.
that
But
exists.
very empty, dude.
Well, I mean, who's going out in the middle of summer to play golf?
Yeah, he was going to Arizona in the middle of the heat. And,
That's New Mexico.
Or New Mexico.
It's even
Why do I
worse.
always say? I always think
I
it's
mean,
Arizona.
It's
I don't
probably
know why.
worse. It's probably
Yeah.
250 degrees out there on the.
It's hot.
It's them doing it. Fucking Mars.
It is called the
miserable as shit all the
Elevation
time.
Spa at the Lava Hotel and Spa.
No, it's
Ooh,
when
we're
they're,
going.
what bothered me is
We're
when
going.
they're out there in the morning. It's like when you golf, it's early as shit. Like there's
Yeah,
no way there's
you're at
nobody
they're-
out there.
They went
early
out
as-
at 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was even she
Peak
like the
hot.
mom was
Yeah.
like
Set in Utah.
we tee off at 1 or something like that.
No,
You
what
go,
is the matter
you go
with
like
you?
early as shit,
Yeah.
like 8 a.m., 9 a.m.
If I can
you're
get
ready to
there,
roll.
yeah, and by then it's already 89
already-
degrees.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that and I also wonder too. Like, I don't know labor laws in all of the states, but like I feel like these kids are getting there like early, and then like they're clocking out when it's like
They're working
this
12
is-
hours
yeah,
plus
late as
days.
shit, yeah.
It's super late.
I mean, yeah, they never put a time on it, but like when the main thing that
They're
you can-
having breakfast.
there's 100% proof when he goes to clock out and he goes, no, you can't clock out. You have to go.
but
do
he has
this thing."
already clocked out because he already swiped
He already
the card.
swiped.
Already swiped his card.
So
Exactly.
I feel like Ryan is super unhinged in this movie. Outfits as well as attire as
The
well
outfits
as
are wild
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
dude.
Oh, his
Yeah.
outfits
Oh.
are wild.
Unhinged though, I don't know. I feel like he has a really very prominent character arc in this.
He does.
that I really
but,
like.
in the
I
beginning.
did,
No,
yeah.
I love. I've always liked Ryan. I feel like even in the third one, I appreciate him a little bit even more. But like in this one, I feel like in the beginning, like Huma Huma, when they do Huma Huma, he's unhinged in that song. Which like alone, that song is just wild.
Is he unhinged because he is unhinged, or is it because of who his sister is?
Sharpay just pushed
I
him
mean,
to him.
maybe.
Sharpay
Yeah.
pushing
Well,
him
no,
to
but
the
I
edge
feel
for
like he
sure.
has like. I actually really like the small scenes that we get with like him and the mom, where she's like, "Ducky, how's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite boy?" Like kind of thing. Like I think that's
I was
super
very
cute.
uncomfortable.
Why?
I don't know. It's just weird.
I love it because I think he's the younger. If you, I mean, I'm assuming they're twins because
They
they're
are
both in the
twins.
same. Yeah, they're in the
They,
same
they
grade.
say that they're twins.
But I'm assuming he's the youngest because they treat him very much of the youngest, and like Sharpay's obviously the star. So and he gets like really pissy because he's not involved in it, so he kind of is
Yeah.
giving off like
Even when they're
younger
playing
brother
golf,
vibes.
like he has to carry his own clubs at one point because they're just like with her and Troy.
Yeah, so it's
Like,
giving me like
yeah.
younger kid vibes. But I don't know. I like that. Yeah, he gets his own, he like makes his own way and paves his own way. And like I don't understand why Sharpay can't just sing by herself with her backup dancers. Like why is that not a thing? Like if she wants to be
Yeah.
the star of the show, why can't she just be the star of the show?
and he can do his own thing.
Yeah, which he does.
That's true.
Gabriella. When they go on their like swimming date, and he goes to jump in the pool, and she's like, "You're crazy wildcat."
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
that.
Woo! When she jumps
yeah,
in.
and she jumps in, and
Oh
she's
my
like,
God.
I'm coming. ah."
No, I don't want to do it. Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah,
like immediately after
she's
she
awesome.
says it.
So
I can't.
I can't. I'm already
Yeah, I'm
cannonballing.
already in there. Midair. I can't.
Cheeks already
Just
hitting
like
the
this,
water.
yeah. She's just up there, started getting air. Just like
oh my god.
It's fucking great.
I feel like up to a certain point, like I'm not really mad at like Troy's character for like trying to get ahead and trying
oh,
to
yeah, that was my thing.
at a certain
Yes.
point. At a certain point, right? Because at a certain point, like there's nothing you can control, especially like knowing that Sharpay is behind this whole thing. Like, so if he's getting offered these things, like I'm happy for my friend that's getting promoted. I feel like it's just his communication to them being like, I don't know what's going on. Like, or he's just like, hey, like Gabriella, like they're having me do this dinner. Like, I don't want to go, but like they're kind of making me go, and like this is an opportunity. And then I feel like if she were smart, especially for how smart she is and how college driven she is, especially in the third one, why is she not more supportive?
Yes.
However, he kind of does do like the whole scene where they're like having lunch together, and he goes,
I got
"Oh hey,
Swiss on
I
my
almost
sandwich."
forgot. I ordered Swiss." Like,
Yeah.
dick move.
Yeah.
Total dick move.
I agree, and I also think, because I know that was one of your biggest problems with the second movie, is how his friends reacted to him. I also think for Gabriella herself, Taylor puts a lot of like things in her head. She's
She
like,
does.
well, my sister says like
Like,
a
he
boy
has
never
10 rules,
forgets
yeah.
a date.
She's got
or
10 rules.
if he's late,
Happens
which we
a
all
lot,
know about.
doesn't it?
No, yeah.
Yeah. The like outside information,
Mm-hmm.
like his
And I think
Sway,
her,
the-
and I feel like
yeah.
with Gabriella, this is knowing who Gabriella is. This is her first boyfriend. What I would assume is her first
Big
boyfriend.
assumption.
It's her first boyfriend.
It's her first
She's in the
boyfriend.
math league.
Yeah. She's also 16 years old in this movie. I would assume her first serious boyfriend.
Also, did they break up or did she just leave the job? That's my biggest thing.
I mean,
where-
she had like 3 write-ups.
just.
That's like our number one thing where we talked about. I was like, I don't think they broke up.
I think she just left the job. I thought she was just like, I can't work. Like, it sounded
She
cool working
had
with
to
you.
go her own way.
But also,
leave the
my other
team
question, I know
for
I'm
necklace.
going forward in the film, but how did she get the fucking necklace back?
We talked about this.
Where
How'd she get it back?
Did she give it back to him?
Yeah.
She does. And gotta go my
Before
own
she
way,
goes
he
into the
just
van.
grabs
And
it
he's
in her
like,
hand.
And then when she gets back in
When they sing
spoilers,
their
obviously,
every
at the
day.
end, she's
She's
wearing the
wearing it?
necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
she's
he
rocking
sent
that.
it back to her. No, doesn't he go? Doesn't Troy go to the house?
No.
No, that's in the beginning of the movie.
That's in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
right?
no, there's no
There's no way
reconnection
he gives
between
her
them
back to
until
her.
the actual show where she shows up from the crowd.
Yeah.
And she's just rocking the necklace again. And I'm just like, did she just buy a new one?
I
She
mean, it
bought-
was just
Another
a
tea.
Claire.
She
Bought
Yeah.
her own. There's just
She bought her own
two
tea.
for there's two tea for Troys out here. Oh my
used to
god,
know a
Chad
boy.
has the other one, the
Yeah,
original.
he's saving it. Douche move to take his basketball. That was an asshole move by Troy. If you're gonna
Yeah,
ditch your
for-
boys, don't steal his basketball.
Oh,
that's
that's
fucked
true.
up.
Yeah, I totally
Hey, that's
forgot
my
about that
ball.
too.
Yeah, that's my basketball.
That's
bro.
my ball.
Oh yeah, and then the one thing we talked about for both movies
Oh,
is
that they ripped the Spalding thing
Yeah,
off. You can
if
just
you
still
notice,
see
like,
the
all the
outline of the
Spalding
is
Spalding.
ripped out from
but
all the
they
balls.
just, they just ripped it off, and I'm like, okay, you can still see the outline though, man.
I have a question for Joseph. So we see that Troy and Chad are obviously like big basketball players.
Yeah.
And they obviously have some talent dancing and singing. So do you think like LeBron and Austin Reeves and Luca, do you think that they have singing careers at all? Or
I can see Austin.
I could see LeBron.
he's a pretty boy. He might be
Yeah,
able,
I can
he
see
might be
Austin
able
has
to
that
sing.
little swoop in his hair too. You could pull it off.
Ooh, he's Troy Wilton. And then LeBron would be Dan or something. And then Luca's Ryan.
Well, they mentioned LeBron in both movies too.
They do. They mention LeBron
They
in
do.
both
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
I brought it up.
Hashtag
to Joseph.
LeBron.
LeBron was in drama class. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have. He was in a movie.
It's the only
He's in
argument
two
I
movies.
need.
Can I go back?
It's the only argument I need, Sean.
Just because speaking of like them like trying to pick up games and stuff and him going to that gym at the beginning of the first movie, there's a fucking wild place to play basketball. The ceiling is literally like maybe a foot above the rim. Where they're like, she's like, boys, we have to go to the New Year's Eve thing, and they're like, all right, one more shot, mom. And this literally like,
I didn't think I
this
recognized
high
that.
above.
Oh.
Joseph brought it up
It's
too.
at the ceiling, and I'm like,
Oh, I don't think
what?
I
You
ever
can't
noticed the
play in that.
ceiling.
No,
I'm
dude.
surprised
I
even
noticed
made. I wonder how many takes.
How many
to
takes
get
it
that
take?
shot?
'Cause it's-
Because you can't go too high because you're gonna hit the ceiling.
You have to hit that
You can't go
perfectly.
too low because you're gonna hit the
You have
rim.
to
I
arch
never
it in
noticed
such a
that.
way that
And it
like
didn't hit the fucking backboard. There's no way.
I
it
feel
was
like
a
it's
full
wild.
swish, and it was just like
I was like, ow.
doesn't make sense. I remember looking at her, she's like, it's a movie. I'm like,
They're playing in like a ballroom.
yeah, they're literally playing.
I don't think I ever noticed.
Oh, the ceiling is like-
I'll have to-
Yeah,
I'll have
it's
to watch
insane.
it.
Watch it
It's
again.
So
I was
low
like,
compared
what?
to where the basket's
have
at.
to
And
watch
it's just
that
like,
again.
and it's not even like it's a portable one too. You can move it and like you can make it lower.
But why
All the
would
way
you?
up.
It has to be regulation size.
Peak size, dude.
Broken through the ceiling tiles.
Holes all everywhere. It keeps going
There,
over
Troy.
it.
Go for it again.
Do you just sometimes like watch them do their thing? Of like,
Oh,
their-
you want one of my favorite things about this podcast is just watching them do their thing.
where
It's
they're
just
like
so-
they're reenacting like little things over there. They're like Troy and Chad just like getting together and they're like
it's so over the top the way they react to things, but honestly, it's very Ryan and Joseph that
That's
I
true.
enjoy just watching it.
we should get you guys your own little jerseys.
All right, hold pinkies together.
We'll make them
Oh,
pink
shit.
and black or something.
Hold pinkies together. There we go. Get pinky rings.
So speaking of
Good J, good R.
speaking of Joseph and Ryan, I would love to see a love story between Chad and Ryan.
Do you know how many
Oh, 'cause of the
fan
baseball.
fiction there is out there about Chad and Troy? Oh wait,
Oh,
Chad and
yeah,
Ryan.
Chad.
Chad. Are you talking about Chad and Ryan?
Chad and
I'm
Ryan,
saying
yeah.
I said Chad and Ryan because of they do like the I Don't Dance,
The baseball stuff,
scene.
yeah.
I love that. That's probably one of my favorite
Runner-up for me.
sequences. Yeah, I was like, I think it's
For
a great
worst or
sequence.
best?
For best.
Said a-
It's a
Yeah, it
great
was good.
sequence.
If Ryan gave up like 3 runs, he would have been pulled.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
I think I know there's a lot of like fan fiction of Chad and Troy, especially for after the third movie.
Oh yeah, the third one. We're gonna do you guys
Boys are
up.
back.
We're gonna do you guys up.
I could see them being like best friends. If Troy were to leave and Troy was very Gabriella focused.
Yeah, like if Troy had to go his own way.
Yeah. I could see Chad and Ryan becoming best friends, especially because Chad's like other friend, Zeke, just trying to get with Sharpay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could see them like doing like not necessarily like double dates, but him doing like his brotherly duties or
I could
both
see
of them.
like Ryan dating Chad's like younger brother or something like that.
Question.
I don't know if Chad has a younger brother. I'm just
Well,
throwing
who's
out
the
We don't
kid
know.
who bakes?
Zeke.
That's Zeke.
That's Zeke.
Zeke.
Yeah, that's Zeke.
The man bakes, man.
man bakes.
That's the in.
I know.
And she was like, not about
I
it.
wasn't gonna. Bring
Oh,
that
I
up,
would have been
yeah.
like, give me the creme brulee.
I wasn't gonna bring this up until later because it's a very prominent part of the end. But like, I know Disney had like a vote for like a character you could put in the movie, which obviously is,
I voted.
yeah, it was like you voted, and it was I forgot. It was like
I didn't vote for her.
It was Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, Emily Osment, who plays Lily from Hannah Montana.
and somebody else.
Not Demi Lovato. I don't know who the other person was.
Anyway,
like to say someone
you
else
could,
from Hannah Montana.
you could vote on having a Disney character from another show be in the have like a little cameo, and it was Miley Cyrus was chosen, and
I
then they
voted every
also
day.
had a vote.
She was in the second one?
I'll
Yeah,
show-
she's like a little
she's
cameo in the second-
in
in
the
the very
All
end.
for One when they're dancing. She's just dancing in
She's
the
like a
background.
little pool girl, like
Yeah,
just like there.
she's just
like,
dancing.
doing her thing.
Don't worry, we're gonna watch it again.
Was not looking at her at all.
Yeah, they're gonna watch it again.
She's like split
they
second.
they show
It's
they pan
literally,
on
yeah.
her and then they show you know
You can see her like in the background when they do like the.
There's also like
Yeah, the
young
pull out,
Miley
yeah.
Cyrus.
But there was also a vote for you could vote on what baked good that Zeke baked for Sharpay. So if he's like, I made you cookies or whatever, you could vote
They
on if
picked
it was
creme
like
brulee?
cookie. Yeah, it was like
Creme brulee
cookies,
was the
cupcake.
first
Yeah,
one.
it was
This
like
is the second
cookies,
movie.
Oh,
cookies,
okay, okay.
cupcakes. Yeah, I think it was like cookies,
Damn, what did
cupcakes,
he
brownies,
make?
maybe muffins. I don't know.
I think he made her.
I think it's cookies.
cookies.
I'm
He
pretty
made
sure
her
it's cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have ate the man's. I mean, been like,
I would have eaten his.
no,
creme
don't
brulee.
even talk to me. Let me try it though. real quick on the
I
way
mean,
out.
like, I'm not gonna. I mean,
Did you vote?
I did not vote, but I remember the vote. Or maybe I did vote.
You
but
were
I
there
didn't
for
vote
the
baking.
results.
I voted for both.
Well, because I wanted to see. I was like, who the fuck are they gonna put in here, and like, how are they? Because I thought it was gonna be like a legit cameo of like she's gonna have lines, but it wasn't. It's just she's just dancing and doing like some like weird. I
Even
don't know.
worse.
But yeah. But anyway, we brought up the Zeke baking thing, so. And that continues in the third one, Joseph.
As it should.
We're totally gonna watch.
Man's
the
on
third one after
a.
this.
That's a real career that could happen. He could bake. He could bake some shit.
I mean, yeah, Troy
would've
could be
eaten
a
his creme
basketball
brulee.
star. It's a real career.
Yeah.
He could be Luca.
No. No. I'll tell you. Okay. Oh, he's real good. No, he's not. Troy Bolton with the fucking 6-7 other dudes in that Escalade that pulled off or whatever that car was. With like, come on, Troy, come on.
Those were like U of A. Those were university ball players.
Plus, they're only looking at one other
guys
kid.
don't
There's
know
no other prospects there. It's
No,
one
yeah,
kid, and
just
they're like,
one. I
mean,
he's
it could
pretty
be Chad- it
good.
could be
No, he's
Chad.
not. There's no way he's that good.
I asked Joseph, was like, is University of Albuquerque a real school or not?
I'm sure it is, but I don't think it's that. I don't
Oh,
think
it's probably not that big.
No, I was
I
like,
think it's
is
a
this
real. I think it
school?
is a
It
real
has to be,
school,
but I
but
don't
it's
think
not.
I don't think
Why
that's
are
like their
you
logo. I don't think the gym
It's
is
probably
that
like
big.
it's probably like a University of Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah, because when I Google U of A, it comes out to University of Arizona.
there you go.
Was that Sun Devils?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Something.
I mean, what? I don't know.
I love the quote when they're like obviously like they have like the big brawl between like they're like Troy, you're a real asshole, looking out for your future. How dare you? And they're like being mean, but then he like realizes, and we have the big bet on it scene, which we'll get to in a second. But I love the quote where like he's like he kind of like comes up and Troy's eyes are all serious, but he's like kind of gonna cry and he's like upset about it, and he's just like, hey, like, you know, I'm interested to see like what's going on here, and he's like, I'm more interested to see what went on between us.
What happened between us?
Yeah, like it's just such like a. Oh,
It was very after school special.
but I love like grew up on after school specials like Degrassi and like, you know, like we talked earlier about like One Tree Hill and all that stuff. So I don't know. I just so good, so bad at the same time.
Which leads immediately into.
Well, no, that I think, or
Yeah.
no, that was before, right?
He's like, no, I'm gonna do something about it.
oh yeah, he's like, I'm gonna change my life or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Do right by my friend.
And he goes and
Well, that
looks-
and he like even talks to Sharpay and he goes, she's like, you don't care about your future, and he's like, no, I care about what my friends think, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
You don't want a free ride? You don't want a free scholarship? You don't want good grades? You don't care about your pay?
which made me laugh too because his dad, a high school basketball coach, whatever, man. I mean, you're not going to be with them forever. Like the first movie, team, and then second movie, well, I mean, fuck the team.
Well, he
you
says
can
like
go in
team
and-
now,
yeah.
which like he's not wrong, like team now, but then yes, eventually you guys will go off to college and you'll probably split up
Yeah.
and go
Yes.
to different places.
But going back to the first movie and the house that they live in, I didn't know they were hurting so much that they had to give him a hoopty ass car
Oh yeah.
I mean, they held
yeah.
up. They held up
Rebuilt.
the hood of that car with a basketball.
And second, I didn't know they were hurting to send him to college. That they can afford to send him to college.
Absolutely, because in the third one, which we will get to, sorry, spoiler, Joseph, they have a huge party in the beginning.
Yeah, they do.
So, like, where are they getting the money for that party?
No one's hurting for money in this, so it's
No,
like,
yeah.
why? Oh, you might get a scholarship, so we can save a little
I
extra.
mean, yeah,
money.
like that'd be great. Like, I would much prefer a free scholarship over
yeah,
like
but I'm not
pension,
gonna
you know.
like, oh, well, you gotta go, Troy. Like,
Yeah.
You gotta make this happen.
gotta go
making
your
a
own way,
really
Troy.
big deal about it.
Yeah.
Of like, well, I mean, well, hold on now, the kid's still fucking,
Yeah.
still got to get through senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still has to impress some scouts and stuff, right? Do you guys want to talk about Bet on It?
Yes, I would love to talk about Bet on It.
I'm gonna throw that one your way.
Are we talking rankings of songs now? Or are we gonna do that at the end?
We can talk about it after
Okay.
Bet on It, but
I'll
the
leave-
sequence of Bet on It itself.
Yeah. Ridiculous. This is ridiculous as hell, and the choreography is very cringy. It's wild. I love it.
Picks up the sand and
yeah.
tosses it away.
And the best part is him looking at his reflection.
Oh, doing the whole Simba thing.
Yeah.
Where they
and
tried to recreate that? Was that the goal?
I know some of it was
That's what I took from
improvised,
it.
but that's what I took from it too.
They're trying to
is
recreate
it's
that
very
Lion
much
King scene.
Lion King scene.
Is that like when what's his name said he was like better than bigger than God, the Beatles guy? What is it? No, okay, I'm on my own wavelength.
No, what?
No, I was like, I went because you're saying they're trying to recreate the whole Lion King thing, and I was like, is that High School Musical trying to say that they're as big as Lion
big
King?
as
And then I was
Lion-
like, oh, is that the same as like when John Lennon was like, oh, the Beatles are bigger than God, kind of thing, which they are not. But
Well, I mean, especially now.
Well,
the two of them are probably with him.
Closer.
But anyway, Bet on It. Yes,
I
a lot
will
of
just-
twirls, a lot of
Yes.
hand movements. So I'm just like,
I love some of the
Just
twirls
him-
though.
I do too. Zac Efron did come out in an interview saying that he improvised that entire, and I was like, I believe it.
It shows.
yeah, I'm sure he did. I
I
buy into that.
honestly
believe-
think that's great. I love it.
And I think
more,
it added
more
more
power
to
to
it.
him.
Sure.
I
It
will
makes
s-
it more iconic.
It's my favorite song of the.
How dare
That's
you,
your
how
favorite
dare
song?
you go
Yeah, it
into
is.
it already?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
He
You
wants
guys
to
have
be
already,
here.
you guys already touched on not your favorite, your worst song.
He said his runner-up. I said
"Oh, you
mine
said your
is
runner-up."
favorite.
Yeah, you said it.
No,
oh,
for
I
worst,
can't dance, or
I
I don't
have
dance.
one 100%.
What's your worst?
My worst is the Puka Puka.
Huma
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 nuka
nuka
nuka.
nuka apawa'a.
I
Okay.
don't know how to feel about it. I
So-
feel so
It's
many
rough.
things.
It is
I will
rough.
say, so the Huma Nuka, whatever that song,
Huma huma
It's
nuka
not-
nuka apawa'a.
it's not in the original release of the movie. That's the ones that
Isn't
they
that like a
have-
deleted scene or
It's a
something?
deleted scene.
Yeah.
They added that shit.
that was deleted from the original cut.
Gee, I
that aired
wonder why.
and on Disney Channel. I did not discover Huma Nuka whatever Princess Tiki song.
Huma huma nuka.
Huma Huma Nuka Nuka Apawa'a, whatever
There
it
you go.
is. I discovered it maybe like 6 years after watching the movie for the first few times.
Oh,
it's
I
a
saw that
deleted
shit.
scene
Oh no, I saw
in
that
the
live.
movie.
I saw that in there
They had
That's
to
like
include
one
it.
of the main things that I remember from. I've never seen
because
like a
it's
theatrical
one probably
cut
so
of it.
annoying. It's two really unhinged. Like
It's a
three,
deleted scene
there's
from the
so
movie.
much stuff going on.
And
Like
4
It's god awful.
I was like, I just
and
I
5.
just did 3.
It's god awful.
Is it? I'll say this. Is it racist?
Oh, perhaps, yeah, perhaps.
Perhaps.
It's a little.
I feel
we're towing
like-
a gray line
Yeah,
here.
they're
I
all-
would say.
yeah.
I feel
Well,
like
slippery
you're towing a
slope.
gray line.
Has it been canceled yet?
That's
No.
probably why they deleted
not.
it. Is what I'm getting at.
I think it was just annoying.
But then they were like, "Nah, we're gonna put it on. We're gonna stream it."
This is the extended cut that's on Disney Channel, Disney
Oh my
Plus.
God, I watched the extended cut of this shit.
We all did.
It's
2
so
towers,
good.
3-hour
Yeah,
version.
you saw the Blade Runner fucking director's cut. Fucking High School
That-
Musical 2.
That's your worst song.
That's my worst
Is
one.
Huma Huma?
Oh, absolutely.
Mine?
Yeah.
It's the last song of the movie because I'm just was waiting for the credits.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was so annoying.
I felt like the ending where they're like in the golf on the field and like
When they're holding
the
the
sprinklers
little
going on. I'm
lantern.
like, cool, credits. And then they go to that song. And I'm like, fuck, I forgot the Miley scene. And I'm like, oh man. So
you
yeah.
like All for One?
No, yeah, I really disliked it very much. So I was just over the
I
movie
don't
at that
like it
point.
either.
Oh, I love
could've
All
done
for
without it,
One.
yeah.
I know that dance too.
It's not.
I was
my-
just ready to like,
Once again, it does nothing. It's
Yeah.
kind of the same as
Yeah.
like we're all in this together. It
Yes.
doesn't do anything for the
It's just-
story.
it's just
I
wrapping
agree.
things up
But
in
I
a
just
bow.
like I love the like beat of All for One, and I love the choreography for All for One. The feet work alone, choreography wise, in this movie. If you guys decide to go back and watch it again, I know
I'm
you
not
will.
paying attention to their feet.
I would absolutely pay attention to the footwork in this movie choreography.
Choreography wise,
It's on point.
There
yeah.
are things that
their
happen.
footwork is so much like more like structured. There's so much more movement. They're not just doing stuff with their hands. Their feet are also moving. The angles and the planes that they run with in the choreo are good job. Good job, Kenny Ortega.
My
I
least
appreciate
favorite
you.
song is them singing in the kitchen that they could work this out. I hated that song.
That one was
Okay.
below.
I
I
hate
love no.
that song.
I
Yeah.
love that one because I love the meme where it's like they kept
Ting,
and
ting,
it's the
clang,
pans
clang.
and it's
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like ding bing bing dong bong.
Squeak, squeak.
That one and Huba Nuka
Yeah.
Nuka
The
Apawa
pepper
tied
changes.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
worst songs in this movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
Is
Run.
that- yours was All for One.
What's yours?
You guys you're gonna be mad.
I Gotta Go My Own Way?
I don't like Gotta Go My
It's
Own
not
Way.
my favorite song in this movie.
You two always sing it. You
Because
always put
it's
that
It's a
shit
fun
on.
time.
You
It's a
al-
meme.
It's just a meme.
It's
yeah,
a meme.
it's a meme.
That's why one of my songs that I picked is one of my favorites of the movie.
You don't understand. When Joseph and I like rewatched both movies, I told him, I was like, you have to pay attention to when she sings "When There Was Me and You," because I was like, you just have to watch it. He's like, she's leaning against the fucking lockers again.
She's always
and
been
just
that.
like her, just like arching her back on Troy's face, like right there. I was like, you just have to watch
Oh
it.
my god.
I don't love Gotta Go My Own Way, but I don't hate Gotta Go My Own Way. I think I like it more because you and I make fun of it. I know
I
you
just
like
like
the song.
every single time, like or not every single.
It's great. It's a great.
Most of the time, and you guys should know this too. Every time we do Pass the Aux, you guys always put it on.
Because it's one of our friends of the show's favorite songs. It's great. He played it on his own. Like I'm just gonna put this bad boy
You know
on.
what I really like?
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. I'm like, this? He's like, oh, I fucking like this movies, bro. I'm like, that's why it made me laugh even more. Just like nobody was talking about it, nobody was bringing up any High School Musical. He
You
just,
know what High School Musical too?
he's just like, dude, done. Here we go. And I'm just like, wait, what did you just do, dude?
He loves musicals,
He really does.
He went to musical
to
theater
musical.
high school.
Yes.
which is so
What are, they're known for it there?
so.
I
Yeah,
didn't know
I've
that.
been
Yes.
to a few shows
Oh shit.
at places like that. I didn't go
hilarious.
to obviously one.
What's your
But
favorite song?
my favorite song is between so fuck. I'm gonna say I don't dance. I'm gonna say that's my favorite is I Don't Dance. Just I love that we get like this sequence where once again you're not getting like the main characters, you're getting like more so like your secondary side characters.
Is that the one where they're on the baseball field?
Yes.
That was
Choreography is great. I just love when they're on the field. I love when they're each at like the different bases. I love that the crowd is involved somehow. I don't know. I love that sequence. I love the dancing. The singing's good, but like
I think it's a good combination of Chad and Ryan. I think it elevated both of their stories, so you get more onto
you get more of them.
who they are.
Mhm.
I did love Ryan's. As I look at Ryan, I did love Ryan's arc in the story. I've always liked Ryan. I like that they separated Ryan from Sharpay.
Yes.
And Sharpay had her own thing. Ryan had his own thing. I did like the chemistry between Chad and Ryan because I could see them becoming best friends.
Oh, that would be so sweet together.
I would love them together. Any way possible.
that was my runner-up song for
What's your
best.
favorite
It's my
Same.
runner-up song.
Yeah,
What was
it
your
was
runner-up?
good. The choreography
Yeah.
in it was good. I liked that the like incorporated
It-
like swings and like
It was
throwing
fun.
the
It was
baseball.
like
Barrel
very
rolls?
fun. Like,
yeah, a lot of
moment.
barrel rolls in that. Best song for me is the Troy on the with the water.
Bet on it.
Yeah, bet
you
on
love
it.
Bet on It.
Oh, it's
love
such a
it.
good song.
But do you like Bet on It ironically, or do you actually are like this is a great song?
I mean, it's a combination of both at this point, just because of like that meme of that kid.
Because
when-
Joseph hasn't seen Scream yet.
the best Troy song. I'm so sorry.
well, that's
I'm
for another
so
time.
psyched for you. So
That's
psyched
great.
for you.
We're not doing that. We're doing two.
I know.
And
But
I'm
this is-
saying
but
for
this is
two.
where we first get like a Troy on his own, like dealing with his feelings kind of song.
I
so.
feel like Joseph would like The Boys Are Back more.
I
I'll
love
leave it at
Boys
that.
Are
Bet on It's another one that just was introduced to me. Like I blocked these movies out for years. So like rewatching it again, I was like, it's kind of catchy. There's some moments, and that there's just ridiculous fun of him just like running around. Then the water scene always gets me every single fucking time because I'm like,
It's so good.
him picking up
I like
sand
music. Music and Me is good.
You Are
too.
the Music in Me is my favorite.
Yeah, I was like, that's a
My
good
favorite.
one. It's a good song.
Are you picking Bet on It as your favorite too?
Yeah.
Twinsies.
The boys are betting on it.
They are betting on it.
No, Every Day. Do we
I
not
actually
like Every
really
Day?
don't like Every Day.
I feel like it's very like Dirty Dancing. Like they're at the country club. They've got the crowd in the back. They're coming through the middle aisle. Like one's at one end, one's at the other. Like Troy should have just leaped into Gabriella's arms. And she just caught him, and he's like, he's like, eagle. If you don't get the reference, it's okay. I don't know if I really have anything else other than like the Miley Cyrus, if you want to touch on that at all, because I know how much you love her.
I do love Miley Cyrus, but there's nothing
does.
really to say. She's in it for
She's just
a
in it.
split second. I voted for her. You're so welcome, Miley.
Yeah, that we already talked about it.
Yeah, I was like, that's really all I have for this one. I put on like, I think a fight for this because I think, were you there when we all watched the first two? It was like a bunch of girls. Were you there for that?
No.
I can't remember if you were there for that. Have we watched this together, right?
No.
Oh, fuck. Well, we're going to have to. We're watching all three together tonight. Sing-along style. So anyway, we were talking about the movies and we were talking about in order, if we like 1, 2, or 3, and everybody was making like a really big stink about like 3 being the best because it was like a cinematic release, and I was like 2 is the best out of the 3.
It's 2, 1, 3.
I think it's story-wise, like, I think it just, you already know the characters, the song's great, the dances get, like, I feel like choreography just gets better kind of thing. Like, I think it's a great sequel. Like, I thought back to our original episode, we were giving out best sequel. I'm not saying High School Musical is my best sequel, but I'm saying, like, I think it would put a good argument in, like, my top 20 because of just the description of what we said sequels were. I think that it puts up a great fight for a good sequel next to its
Predecessor.
original. Yeah.
I agree. I did enjoy the second one more than the first one. And the third one's the worst, in my opinion. But this is also the most successful DCOM movie.
Yeah. I feel like that also means that Joseph will probably love the third one.
Unfortunately, I think he would. I really do.
There's a lot more basketball.
It's a lot more basketball. I know you know the opening scene because you've seen all the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I've
know
seen
that.
those, yeah. And then you showed me the trailer.
I did play the trailer
I
for
kinda get
him,
a
and it's
little
like
bit
the
of gist of
entire
it, so I'm like,
movie. But my favorite High School
God forbid my
Musical
boy gets
song
scholarship.
in the franchise is a song in the third movie.
Which we will talk about when we get to the third one.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you guys have anything else for second one? Feelings? Thoughts? Do you want to talk about the sock puppet lady?
She made me laugh.
I totally forgot about that until you brought that up.
You're welcome. I totally forgot she was a thing too.
I fucking love that. I think it's hilarious.
Because I feel like that would be a thing.
It was funny in a cringy way. It was just funny. Like, oh no, Sharpay, I'm going to kill you. It's like, oh my god, lady.
And then she really did.
Lock her
She
ass
does.
up. Yeah. Spoilers for 3.
Sharpay's not in it.
She's
Sharpay.
that's the opener.
dead.
Brutally murdered. The only thing left behind was a sock puppet.
Ratings, Ryan, go.
3. Far superior to 1.
All right.
I enjoyed, there was a lot more character development and they fleshed out a lot more in this than they did in the first one. There are a lot more like cringe moments that happen to it, but I think it makes it better overall. And also they double down on the fashion. Fucking high.
You
fucking
love that fashion. I feel like I shouldn't have gotten
I
you a
love
jersey.
it.
I should have got you like a
fedora and
Really
like,
Yeah.
Dora,
You
those
should've
Wildcat
yellow
shorts
shirt.
that
Like a-
Ryan's wearing.
like a
God.
neon green polo with like some.
What do you
yellow.
think? I'm in the white and the.
We have the white
bro.
polo, the red shorts,
Yeah.
dude.
You know, you should've
Gabrielle was
gotten
like,
him-
okay.
You should have got him a green dress with like florals and given him some like
The
jeggings
jeans.
underneath.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
Big T necklace.
A little white headband to put on
Big
top.
T-neck was it's double the size.
It's like I'm thinking like what is that Flava Flav size T?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think one of
That would
those.
have been funny.
It was Flavor Flav's clock in the beginning of the fucking
It
film.
was. He
was a
donated
Flava
it
Flav
for
clock.
the, for the production.
For the production, yeah.
Dude.
I'm at 2.5. I love this movie. Not loved it, but I liked it way more than the first one. I enjoyed watching it. First one, I got really bored very easily. This one kind of kept me up. We had that debate too, where I'm like, she's annoying as hell. Sharpay.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah, no, she's annoying as hell. But
Get
I
real.
do think at some point she did have Troy's best interest,
She did.
and I did like she's annoying, but she wanted the best for him. She was trying to put him in a path to succeed.
but at her hands.
But at
so
her,
that she
yeah,
would owe
yeah.
her.
Yes, and I like the songs more in this one. I honestly do, and yeah, I enjoyed it way more than the first one. So I am at a 2.5.
Damn, went up. Damn.
Yeah, by like 2 points.
Yeah. I originally had this movie out of 4. Originally out of 4.
Okay.
And then when I rewatched it,
Damn.
the whole
She's at a
Sharpay,
5.5.
the whole Sharpay and like Gabriella scene where she basically tells like, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Not in those exact words.
Oh, where she goes up and she's like, I don't know who you think you are.
Yeah.
And like, this is my summer and blah, blah, blah.
It dropped it down to me. I'm at a 3.5 after that entire scene because I hated that moment between them, because it's like you never really see Gabriella and Sharpay interact with each other. It's more just like, you have a great summer. Yeah, you too. Thank you for all your help in the vocal lessons and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I feel like it just didn't make sense for their character arc, where it made Gabriella come off as like the jealous girlfriend, and then she does her own thing and goes her own way after that. I just didn't care for that. I'm at a 3.5 because of Sharpay and stupid Gabriella.
I don't know. I kind of appreciate in a way that like we finally get some oomph from Gabriella's character by her going up and being like, hey bitch, like I haven't had a summer here.
But
You're
it's
fucking with
directed
my
at
friends.
the wrong person.
Is it
I
though?
think
Because
her-
she's the one planting the seeds
She
to
is.
Yeah,
get
But
Troy.
Troy
Yeah.
is too stupid to realize that.
Well, yeah,
it's Sharpay.
Troy was more annoying when he was just standing in the background, just watching with like
Just
this
watching
dumb
it.
face, being like, "What's
Yeah.
happening?" Like,
Well, no, but like had she like come up to maybe like both of them
Yes.
when they were interacting like on the golf
Yeah.
field or something.
I think that would have been
Golf
better
field.
for her character.
it's the
The golf
least, it's the
course?
least bland Gabriella's ever
I got
been.
you. The golf course.
What,
Yeah.
I missed it.
She golfs field.
Yeah.
Golf-
when-
Golf field.
yeah.
I
When
got
he's
you.
behind her, like, it's all in the hips.
Yeah.
It's all.
I feel
when
like
did he
her-
become a golf
her-
fucking guy?
Her being, he did play for the golf team in high school.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, they say it.
No, they
Troy
sneak
played,
it in there, dude.
Don't worry, that
It's
was
just
freshman.
like-
It was freshman year.
You're right. I forgot that he said that, but you just gotta hold it right, like when
No,
you're
but
at the
then
table.
she like corrects it, and then she just takes like
Yeah.
that badass swing.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
because
what
she's
the
yeah, sure, yeah, and then the friend just be like,
Anyway,
What a trickster.
what I'm getting at is like I can appreciate. I agree with you. That scene, like the dialogue is just horrible. She's like my friends, meh, meh, meh. But I can appreciate her trying to stick up for herself.
And I
like,
agree that.
It's the least bland she's been.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
we get something from her where I'm just like, okay, you're not just like, you know, of course, Troy, yeah, let's go eat sandwiches in the park for like the 4th time in a row this movie. Like they're always having picnics.
Yeah, because she's not really dealing with anything in this one other than getting ridden up. And Troy like
Getting
making his
trouble.
own path. That's like the only 2 things she deals with. And then
She
she
went her own
leaves,
way.
she quits, and then she comes back at the end like in what 10, 20 minutes around there. And there's like a
Every
very
day.
quick closure, and you're like, okay, like that's,
Oh, okay, she forgives
that's
him.
her character arc. Cool. Like there's really not much. At least Troy, you're like,
Sam.
I feel like it's more Troy's movie than
Oh, Troy's the
Yeah,
main character
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. She's just a simp.
nah, it's Ryan.
Love Ryan.
It's his movie.
Love Ryan.
We're
more
just
than
living
the
in
third
it.
one, too. Oh, just wait till we get to the fashion in the third one. So good.
It's arguably the worst.
So the best.
I am actually I agree partially with that statement, but I am with Mooney on the 3.5. I think this is probably the best story that we get of the series. The songs are good. There's a few songs in the third one that I really like. There's a couple sequences that I appreciate there. The first one I would agree is the worst, but I also can still appreciate it because it gave us the setup for everything. And then I just like the high school kind of like cliche. I think that that's a fun thing to throw in. So, but yeah, High School Musical and High School Musical 2. But yeah, we'll eventually get to the third one. So don't worry if you're holding your breath on our thoughts on that one. Joseph still needs to watch it.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath on that.
Don't
I
worry,
actually
we'll
think
get-
you would enjoy it.
I don't know. I really don't know anything from it at all. I completely just
Never seen it.
We'll
never
get there.
saw it,
It'll be
never
great.
wanted
Don't
to,
worry.
but
We'll
I
watch
will
it.
see
We're
it.
gonna watch it right now after we close this out. Thank you so much again for watching. Hopefully you appreciated our thoughts on High School Musical 2. Please be sure to subscribe, like, follow, leave comments. Let us know what you thought about High School Musical 2, and see you guys next time.
Toodles.
Oh, what team?
Wildcats.
Wildcats.
Yeah, get your head in the game, guys.
Thanks for listening. Until next time, the podcast, a show so sublime. Marissa, Mooney, Joseph, and Ryan signing off with glee. Join us next episode for more sequel revelry.